She didn't actually do anything. I hate Frogan. She didn't do anything to Ethan. I'm just saying, I don't think she's even done anything important enough to warrant occupying such a place in Ethan's mind and such a prominent role in that video. What a compliment! Ethan, I'd watch how you describe these people, frankly. Bad Empanada is one of the greatest internet provocateurs of all time. Two guys, everyone with standards, all stopped watching 10 years ago or more, having the greatest sock and bopper fight of all time. Happy Easter, everyone. It's just like Anne Frank, guys. It's just like Anne Frank. You're very raceful, like myself. You can spot a little bit of Arab.
This is like Trump talking about Epstein.
The only thing Ethan did,
except I'm not Epstein.
Points out is that,
dude, please explain to me how you defend this. This guy's insane. This guy's totally insane. He's just smearing people. All right, guys, we're gonna watch this. Ethan Klein reacting to the H3 Content Corp. Okay, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be awesome. They're doing like some, I don't know, like they're doing like prefacing right now. They're like, they've got clips and all this like context.
Okay, way to behave.
Like, clips of Hassan doing bad stuff, and they're, I don't know if they're playing them before they watch the Content Corp, or if they're watching bits of the Content Corp, then playing context. But it's a bit cringe. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't exactly what I want from a reaction. You watching 1 minute, then taking like 30 minutes to go around and talk about how hard done by you are, how everyone you over so badly. Like, it doesn't really feel like you're addressing the points at that point, but sure, we'll take a look, we'll see.
It's objectively bad. And what offends me more than anything, my friends, my lovely family members, my audience, is not the jabs, the mischaracterizations, the lies that he makes about me. The video is just not funny.
It's true.
And that's what really I find the most offensive about it. The man did not even attempt humor. Or maybe he did in a couple of places. Like when he was...
Okay, I agree it's not funny, but also Ethan's show is like not funny. Like, yeah, neither. You're both pretty washed.
Doing the Fortnite dance, that was funny. Remember that part? That was good.
Everything was correct.
That part was funny.
So, and this is all prepared as well, and like he's still awkward about it. Like no one points out. I swear, I never hear Chad or Nick or any of these people point out the fact that Ethan always seems so uncomfortable. It seems so weird. Like, do you know what I mean? He's so uncomfortable all the time. All of his delivery is so stunted. He's not confident in his jokes. It's terrible. It's like his show sucks. Like, real bad. Sorry, I'm not zoomed in. You can see sort of like the edges of my set there. Okay. Yeah, it sucks. So, like, for you to sit there and your opening is, well, you know, aside from anything else, it's just not funny. Yeah, neither is your show. Your show is like a neurotic 40-year-old man having a breakdown every other day. It's like totally shameful. It's like the most boring, shameful thing. It's like being in like a mental health facility. Like, it really is. Like, anytime you open this show, it's like being in a mental health facility. And he's like, oh, well, there's no whimsy in iDubbbz's video. Bro, I feel more whimsy in retirement homes than watching you try and like struggle through a neurological disorder as you try and get your words out for hours every day, getting into an increasingly more emotional state as you talk about how all your friends online have betrayed you and how everyone online is racist against you. Like that, your show is miserable. Your show is completely miserable.
Just everybody in this community who stood by me over these past 2 years, who have listened to me, who know who I am and what I'm about. And, you know, when this video dropped, everybody was like, the thing is, like, the way that I operate is I'm transparent and I take everything head on. There's nothing in that video that we all haven't already talked about. You know what I mean? Exhaustively. And I don't, and like, you know, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to respond to every second of this thing You know, the minute it dropped on Wednesday, was it? I immediately went and watched it live because I want people to know just how unafraid I am of this video. How I mean, I didn't know what was in it, but I knew, like, okay, based on the people that he tagged in the description, I was like, okay, I know what this video is.
I literally would be so scared to do that.
I know you would be, Jay Shetty, but
you no one really thinks he's like scared to react to it. Like, this is such a stupid point, dude.
I had to make a principled stand.
Oh God.
And I hope that Hassan Piker is watching how I responded to the video directly on Wednesday and today as an example of how it's done.
I did.
This is what you should do, okay? And if it's as bad as you say, then it should just be a fun. Look how much fun we're having. The views are great.
God.
Everybody's piled in. It's a win-win, buddy. Just watch the video on stream and eviscerate it, like I'm gonna do today to iDubbbz, right?
This is, oh my God. Oh my God.
I know, man. I know it. So that's my preamble here. Before we get started, oh, there's also Teddy Fresh, buy one, get one, 50% off. Let me plug real fast. You always be plugging, unlike iDubbbz, who did not even plug Creator Clash. And his
Yeah, for real. Trapped in a cage of his own making. Hassan won by ignoring the vid and you closed off that path for yourself. Exactly. Like, you really want to be sitting here doing this? You want to be reacting to this video right now? No, you don't. No, you don't. You've already said that you're upset about the way he treated your little friend Plush in the last thing. You know, he doesn't really want to be sitting there watching this video. And if it's a shit video, then you definitely don't want to be watching it.
This video, in which he, by the way,
and he's not raw dogging it now either. He's not blind watching. He said there's nothing funny in the video, so obviously you've watched the rest of it.
threw dear Lena right under the fucking proverbial bus without even telling her ahead of time. I will not make that same mistake. Go to teddyfresh.com. It's buy one, get one free, guys. 50% off. No, sorry. It's buy one, get one 50% off.
Wait, are you crazy? Okay, milk glass drink. Please tell me you are not so fucking stupid that you think that the people tagged in the description were the writers. Please tell me you're not so fucking retarded that you think Hassan, Sean DeBlack, and Denims wrote the content cop. Please tell me you're not that fucking stupid. Or are you actually that fucking dumb? He obviously feed him talking point. Yeah, so you are that fucking dumb. All right, see you later.
Until the 25th, you've got you've got like 7 days. And it applied automatically at checkout. Just add 2 items you like. The second one's going to be 50% off. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So at the top,
if you think half of those people can even even literate, like they can even read or write, you're tripping. When do you think the last time like Denims wrote anything was? When do you think the last time Hassan wrote anything was?
Here, there's a few things I want to. Obviously, we reacted to.
Don't
the first
say especially Sean DeBlack.
17
That's
minutes of
racist. Why would you say
on
that?
Wednesday.
Why would you say that?
Regrettably, it took me about 2.5 hours to do that.
DeBlack.
My goal is to watch the whole thing today.
We want to stay out of the drama.
You may want to give a heads up to our help at home. We might be late.
Oh God.
Just being real.
Yeah, good point.
Because I'm gonna finish it today.
I mean,
but I'm gonna try to
okay.
keep it expedient as possible, which I'm currently already failing to do. I'm already talking too much, but I'm having so much fun, and you know, enjoy the moment, right? At the top here, I just want to give that. You know, that's too painful, Nate.
Is that too mean?
It's like a dagger in my heart, and the biting criticism that offers, the substantive,
Wake up, Ethan.
well-conceived criticism of me. It's just, it hurts too much. I'm confronted with all of my flaws in this moment.
We ain't doing that.
Frogan doing the L, skipping around. Whoever that guy is, Sean DeBlack, who I don't know why he's in the video. Denims, who's
I mean, that's a good point.
actually a demon.
I mean, to be fair, like, there's no reason for Frogan to be even in the video either. The only reason Frogan's in the video is because Ethan spazzed out at her so fucking bad. She didn't actually do anything. I hate Frogan. She didn't do anything to Ethan. Ethan unfollowed her on Twitter and she made those gay comments in her fucking Discord. Where she's like, oh, I can't believe Ethan unfollowed me. I'll support the IDF if you follow me back or whatever the fuck it was. It was like those stupid fucking... And then she says her usual dumb shit about veterans and all that shit when she's on stream. But there was no real Ethan Frogan beef. It was like this retarded thing happened where he unfollowed her like a year and a half ago. It's completely... It's like... Who cares? What?
And iDubbbz, who I think we need to rename the new iDubbbz. I'll think about it.
I don't
really
think
have
More like
anyone deserves that
iDubbbz, more like
level.
I suck.
You
I
said?
thought you were reaching over to button.
Yeah, listen,
Oh,
you
got
won't
it.
find someone... I don't like Frogan. I'm not sitting here saying Frogan's got a really likable personality and is a really intelligent person with a lot to say. We hitting buttons again. I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm just saying I don't think she's even done anything important enough to warrant occupying such a place in Ethan's mind and such a prominent role in that video.
No.
Damn, that was terrible.
No, no button. I'm stand by that one. First and
She is
foremost, I want
DEI
to...
embodied. She is. She won that Rising Star Award fucking twice or whatever. Never got anywhere in streaming, and yet still gets put in the biggest video of the year. Because what? Because Muslim, I guess? Fat Muslim? She's had every opportunity given to her. All of these massive content creators handing her everything. Twitch corporate are handing her everything. Hard stuck 200 viewers. Only relevancy is being that girl with really stupid political opinions that Ethan Klein calls fat. Oh, he doesn't call her fat, does he? But that Ethan Klein insults, and I use those as opportunities to call her fat.
Just hit on some things. Okay, this one's just fun and silly. XQC had a really funny reaction, and I just want to shout it out. I love.
Oh my god! Wow, guys, everyone else on my
so
side
painful.
didn't care.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, Maiko. Here's the thing that's even funnier after watching.
He didn't go. Yep, we get it.
Just being in the video, like she was like dancing and doing that.
So we're not. It's like an hour until they actually get into the content corp. I guess they're like going over every other clip possible first.
So anyway, here it is. Yeah, pretty funny business. So here we
wanna
are.
Stay out of the drama as much as possible.
It's like he was spending so long on like pointing out there's no substantive critique in the Fortnite dance. Like, dude, the whole point was to mock you. It was to mock you for crashing out. It was mocking you for being so neurotic and paranoid.
We don't want to pile on and add to anything.
Sounds like a good idea.
That was just a couple of weeks ago, really. When was that? I don't know.
3 weeks ago? How long was it?
Yeah, it was really. So at any rate, here's where we left off. So without further ado, this is me reacting to every second of this man's takedown of me, fearlessly, heroically. Something that Hassan in his wildest dreams could never achieve because he's a coward.
Oh my God.
I know it. I know it. Prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong.
Oh, that's right.
I know, man. Anyway, go on, Ian. Let's continue.
Okay, well, I want to watch that Sick edit first, because this is from the first stream, I think. Sick did like an 8-minute edit. This is from the first stream. Apparently, Ethan did a bunch of the things that he was called out for in the video live.
Yes.
I do have some more bad news for you. Some breaking news. Your old friend iDubbbz just released a video.
Yeah.
It's about you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
What we do here is go back.
Yeah. That's what happened. Their editor was saying psycho shit about Hila and me, calling us like baby killers and shit. And I was like, damn, bro, you're not even going to say anything? Like, what the hell? That's crazy, dude.
Well, considering they made this video, sounds like they endorse him. 100%.
Say what?
I said since they made this video, it seems like they endorsed Froggy Tonic then.
Yeah, it seems like they agree.
This is their response to that.
It sounds like they think Hila's a baby killer.
I used to work with this video editor named Froggy Tonic. There would be an occasional Froggy tweet where I'd be like, I agree with that, you know? Like, I'm not gonna endorse it, I'm not gonna retweet it or like it, but fair enough. Now, my former editor of a year and a half ago did say some truly mean shit. He called Hila the C word. He said they're trying to kill their dog with cheddar cheese and a bunch of other shit, I'm sure. So yes, I am willing to admit that my former editor was being very nasty, uncharitable, and fucked up towards Ethan and Hila on Twitter. But Ethan and Hila are doing the same shit on their podcast. So I don't want to fucking hear it.
Anyway, this guy was saying shit like that Hila's a Nazi, that she kills kids, that she went on like, she's like a IDF baby killer, all this types of shit. And that's showing up right up on Anissa's and iDubbbz's feed.
For all you know, I only use the For You tab. For all you know...
Well, now this is just content co-op. Where's the...
that? And what it sounds like to me...
And I know you try to de-escalate, but it's clear Ethan isn't interested in de-escalating.
De-escalate? I just said I vented about them not defending me. What the fuck is he like? He's actually losing his shit and I just can't believe it, dude.
Should you call him up? Call him up right now.
What do you guys mean? Call him now? I haven't even seen the video. Why would I call him?
Because I had suggested that a minute ago.
No, but
he was saying that you wouldn't take his phone call.
I would call him. I just need to know what the fuck he's gonna say in it.
I thought the text conversation...
Dude, like that... I'm sorry, you can't do both at the same time. You cannot, on one hand, say, I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends. You know, why didn't you stick up for me, all this shit? You should have stuck up for me. And on the other hand, go, well, I'm not calling you unless I know what you're going to say. So, no, he wanted to call you before to talk about this situation, and you refused. You refused again.
That I had with him was very empathetic. I basically just said, like, I know you and Hila are experiencing a ton of harassment, and I essentially empathize with that, and I think there's something positive to get out of the conversation.
Seriously, Ethan is such a just shithead, man. It's crazy.
But he refused to talk on the phone unless I was willing to publicly say something about my former editor and denims.
Like, we have one disagreement where I get upset because you guys
I definitely lean more towards iDubbbz's side than I do Ethan's at this point, yeah.
aren't defending me publicly.
I don't like iDubbbz by any stretch.
After everything I've done to support you guys, I mean, people that watch the show know how much, like, I've stood up for him during that whole time when, like, the entire internet was accusing Anissa of being, like, some succubus. And the amount that we went to bat for him, stuck our necks out for him, promoted both of his fucking boxing events. Like, with our whole
the video sucked because it was a bad content cop and it had points that just totally missed the mark. Like the employee stuff. The video wasn't great, but there are good enough points about Ethan and about his relationship with Ethan that I don't think there's a good way around.
Best. I probably done and stood by iDubbbz and Anissa more than anybody. I've stood by them when all the internet hated them.
I don't like that Ethan brought this up because it makes the relationship feel very transactional. Like, you know, we're just meant to support each other online despite our own personal morals or principles.
And like you bring on people who are fucking Denims and Frogan, who did a fucking anti-Semitic tier list, and you're platforming them?
Content cop was better than Hassan Nuke? Yeah, most of it was original content, not just our Destiny posts collated.
And co-signing them?
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend, but there is someone in the middle who kind of fucks with both of them, but separately. Yeah, there's a lot of friendships.
It was not two sides of the same coin. That's total delusion. You're living in a fantasy land. Total delusion. It used, like, I think, 2 snark points. 3 maybe, if you pushed on the button thing. But it only sourced 1 snark Reddit post. It wasn't using snark clips. Thank you for the $5. Thank you. You're just, like, totally delusional to say they're two sides of the same coin. That's just not true. It's not true at all. Most of iDubbbz's video was about his drama with Ethan. The entirety of H3's video was our Destiny posts. It's all stuff they've spoken about for months.
That are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys like meet up and kiss or anything.
It's like it's literally impossible to claim that they're two sides of the same coin. You're objectively wrong.
I said to Anissa, we were texting before I.
Well, it was also about Ethan's drama with Hassan. That wasn't most of the video. That was not most of the video. The Hassan stuff occupied a very small part of the video. It was mostly about Ethan and iDubbbz. The entire first 15 minutes or something is iDubbbz being called out by Ethan for his old editor, for not standing up for him, for not disavowing. That was the whole first 15 minutes.
We talked about it, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, then you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right? And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty. Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
Oh, we saw this clip.
Himself.
Okay.
I just think it might be wise to watch it, think out your thoughts, and respond in a calm way. Because there's no chance that you don't get heated.
Ethan is leaning on all...
What are you talking? I think it's lame. iDubbbz paints it as if H3 is expecting to fully publicly support him. Now, H3 was asking for him to disavow the editor and make a public statement telling people, and this is clear in iDubbbz's video, make a public statement telling people that H3 doesn't feed his kids his own shit. Literally the most retarded ask in the world. H3, Ethan is a total fucking entitled idiot of a friend, thinking anyone is going to do that. Disavow an ex-subcontractor who might have done a totally fine job when he worked for you, and make a public statement saying, I don't feed my kids my own shit. Who is that convincing?
Yeah.
To me.
It's just incredible who ends up being the good guys in this story, you know? It's really something.
Yeah, and then acting like iDubbbz is a bad friend when he said, you have to disavow and publicly support me, otherwise we're not having a phone call. When iDubbbz is trying to call you to check up and see if things are okay and see if the friendship can carry on.
Yeah, the reason I'm bringing this up is because they're trying to like paint themselves as the good guys, and they're saying like, yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Anissa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole. By the way, truly remarkable act of cowardice. One thing that these snarkers and critiquers have consistently...
Dude, Lokiko, you're just saying nothing. You're saying nothing. H3 defenders are the most retarded people on the world. It's just so crazy. Anissa couldn't say that H3 are good people and the CPS shit is too far. Then Ethan and Hila are not being good people by any of these people's standards right now. Throwing out lawsuits against people who criticize you. Doxing people. Crashing out every day. This is not being good people by almost anyone's standard. So, don't know why they would say that. So, all you're asking for, really, is go out and say that they don't feed their kids shit. Which isn't convincing anyone. The people who think Ethan and Hila feed their own kids shit are not going to be convinced by anything that that's not happening. Because they don't believe it on any evidentiary grounds. They believe it because they fucking hate Ethan and Hila.
Done is include the crew in like a totally unnecessary way with the explicit purpose of trying to drive a wedge in our team because they will not be happy until I am alone and have no support in the entire world. And that's why he brings this up. And it's obvious because it's such a poorly conceived point. It's kind of hard to even understand his point. He goes on to talk about Adam McIntyre in a really bizarre way. Here, take a look. for putting you in that position, Olivia. You're friends with him, and you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit, okay? Olivia did not do anything. And
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or is it because Ethan is afraid of wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits?
And also, I don't mind putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is.
Dan was...
So he hasn't responded to a single point here, he hasn't responded to a single thing that was said. He's just let it play. Are we... Is he going to respond to the whole section?
A script on my hate.
Yeah. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is.
Dan was trying to sabotage me. He put a script on my computer.
He always frames it as though it's other people making it hard for his employees, but it is absolutely his decision making, right?
To disable the pause button.
We all thought it was a great idea.
Not today.
Like, he bitches about how they put Lena in a bad position. That's total bullshit. Total bullshit. Lena was already fighting when they started going after Ian and Aneesa for not disavowing their editor, for not coming out publicly. Lena was already scheduled to be fighting. They attacked Ian and Aneesa knowing their employee was going to be at Creator Clash. You can't then cry and say Ian's making it hard for Lena when Ian responds. That's bullshit.
Not today.
I thought maybe I'd try and get out of here by like 4:30 or so, you know?
That's not happening.
Oh, man.
Speaking of eating, we're going to have to order food today because this boy's going for a long time. I'm going to go back because we weren't paying attention. So his point is that because I said Adam McIntyre put Olivia in a weird position, that I shouldn't have criticized him for being friends with people who are calling CPS?
Yeah, we strongly disavow things that are said, even about our enemies. We are the most immoral people on the internet. Unlike Ian and Aneesa, who are fucking keeping to themselves. Also, why the fuck does Olivia get the pass?
What a fucking asshole for putting you in that position, Olivia. No, I think the fundamental premise that's completely inappropriate here is that somehow Adam McIntyre just being a dickhead is equivalent to your friends, your associates, and your now collaborators supporting, encouraging people to literally call CPS to come take my children away.
Which also, like, can we now say, because last night we did make sure we finished the video and watched everything, there was not even one mention of CPS in this whole video.
He didn't find that to be relevant. He skirted next to it. He kind of like skirted past it, but he never bothered to explain. And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So like
without even explaining that at least that's the context, it's pretty cowardly.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
This whole video has left me utterly shocked, frankly. It's
a pretty big omission.
It's a very big omission.
Yeah, it's pretty glaring.
And like, listen, I'm not one to be like context. I mean, it is important, but that's like Hassan's thing. He just says it reactively about anything without actually knowing what was said or anything. But this is important context.
It's like the main big event that has caused our reaction to so many things. And then he just shows our reaction without saying what happened. That's crazy.
By the way, something else he conveniently leaves out is his friend Denims, who he co-signs, includes in this video, defends heroically. What he doesn't include actually is, well, this clip, which is going to be very painful for him to watch. But I play it for posterity's sake only. This could be why I was upset at Denims and why I dared to utter the unforgivable B word towards her. Well, actually, no, that was because she was denying rape. This is
right.
It all kind of culminated. Let's be real. She's not a great person, Anyway, Ian, I hope you watch this part here. Denim hosts this.
Sorry,
and see
I
what she
AFK'd for a
says,
second.
and then
I AFK'd
now
for
we
a
wonder
second.
why people are calling. It all kind of culminated. Let's be real. She at Denims, and why I dared to utter the unforgivable B word towards her. Well, actually, no, that was because she was denying rape. This is
right.
It all kind of culminated. Let's be real. She's not a great person. Anyway, Ian, I hope you watch this part.
So wait, we're just skipping over that bit that he was just totally wrong. This is why I called her a stupid bitch. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. He brought this up to show why he called her a bitch, but this isn't why he called her a bitch.
We're gonna watch everything. There was not even one mention of CPS in the whole video.
He didn't find that to be relevant. He skirted next to it. He kind of like
yo, thank you for the raid, Chad.
Welcome in, Chad Raiders. Bothered to explain. And a lot of the clips he uses is us fired up from the day that CPS came to us.
So like
without even explaining that at least that's the context. It's pretty cowardly.
I'm shocked. Yeah.
I agree. It should have had the CPS context. But the reality is that this isn't why you called Denims a bitch. This doesn't respond.
Video
to the
has left me utterly shocked, frankly.
It's a pretty big omission.
It's a very big.
I did see the AB button clip got scrubbed from the VOD. Yeah, I did.
Big omission.
Yeah, it's pretty glaring.
And like, listen, I'm not one to be like context. I mean, it is important, but that's like Hassan's thing. He just says it reactively about anything without actually knowing what was said or anything. But this is important context.
It's like the main big event that this caused our reaction to so many things, and then he just shows our reaction without saying what happened. That's crazy.
By the way, something else he conveniently leaves out.
Okay, I'm sorry. Dude, it's also so crazy, man. Imagine if... Dude, literally just reverse... or change the characters here. Change the characters. Imagine this isn't about Ethan getting the CPS called on him for a moment. Imagine instead, this is about Keffals getting swatted. Let's imagine a world where this is actually about Keffals being swatted. Imagine if Keffals got swatted and then got on stream and started lashing out at a bunch of people and going around going like, oh, why haven't you disavowed? Why haven't you disavowed your editor? Why haven't you said that I don't feed my kids shit? Why haven't you said I don't have a bunch of guns? I'm not planning a trans revolution. He would be like, this is ridiculous. This person's a psycho. They're crashing out. But because it's Ethan crying anti-Semitism, giving people some Muslims to hate, some red meat, they're perfectly happy to sign on.
Is his friend Denims, who he co-signs, includes in this video, defends heroically. What he doesn't include, actually, is, well, this clip, which is going to be very painful for him to watch. But I play it for posterity.
Holy shit, some of you people are so dumb. It's actually driving me insane. The Ethan Klein fans are next level dumb. Isn't that what Keffals did, lol? Not the fucking point. We didn't support Keffals. I didn't support Keffals. No one in this chat supported Keffals. Fucking none of the content creators supported Keffals, you stupid fuck. You stupid fuck. I think it's crazy, but TBF, Ethan was on their Keffals side too. I don't care if Ethan was on our side. Was the Oreo? Was anyone else? That's what I'm talking about, you fucking idiots. What are you on? Everyone's taking Ethan's side despite him acting like a complete fucking worthless scumbag. Absolute piece of shit this whole time. Throwing out lawsuits at people who make videos about him. Demanding people disavow their ex-employees. Asking people to make statements saying he doesn't feed his kids his own shit. It's fucking bizarre behavior.
Sake only. This could be why I was upset at Denims and why I dared to utter the unforgivable B word towards her. Well, actually, no, that was because she was denying rape. This is It all kind of culminated. Let's be real. She's not a great person. Anyway, Ian, I hope you watch this part here. Denims hosts this and see what she says, and then now we wonder why.
All self-inflicted too. Entirely self-inflicted. Absolute bullshit to pretend he was tricked by Hassan into starting a show with him. Predictable outcome to starting a show with Hassan with views that you could have easily known they held. You chose to continue fighting. You've picked fights with every one of these content creators and decided you're on a crusade on behalf of our destiny. Pure constant self-inflicted issues, sticking his foot in his mouth on politics shit that he cares, you know, he's more emotional about than he is intellectual. It's just like, apparently we're supposed to sit here and clap like seals. That's what you're expected to do, is sit there and clap like a seal as Ethan Klein sues everyone that says a bad thing about him or clips his stream on the internet. That's what you're expected to do right now. After 10, 15 years of watching commentary content where it's copyright striking and lawsuits are the worst thing you can do. Let's just criticize and talk our shit and debunk the points. Now we're supposed to sit here and say, oh, yeah, Ethan, you're so based. You're so based. Weaponizing retarded fears about anti-Semitism to try and shut down your critics in a climate that already doesn't allow for a proper rule of law or due process on many of these issues. Oh, well, Ethan, you're so based, taking advantage of like an insane social climate in your country right now to silence criticism. Okay, wow. Great, yeah, amazing. I feel so great being in this fucking audience.
Why people are calling Child Protective Services.
But they called it before I even did this stream.
This was
he
before.
Lets his dogs shit all over his mansion.
This was like basically 2 days before CPS came to our house. Here she is watching Bad Empanada. Once again, someone that Ian takes no acknowledgement of, despite him constantly being on the screen, constantly being like the source of a lot of information that these people are sharing. This man, he did a game role play where he kills Hila.
Yeah, and he's definitely a piece in the puzzle in a lot of these situations that is also left out for no reason.
Yeah, so I mean, like he shows Matt Lieb, for example, and he's just like, oh, he just hates Matt Lieb because he's anti-Zionist. It's like, no, I was very, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to keep the criticisms to the exact moments. I'm just going to play it. But yeah, his total omission of the existence of Bad Empanada, who's one of like the greatest internet provocateurs of all time, someone who's been decried.
Whoa, what a compliment. Ethan, I'd watch how you describe these people, frankly. Bad Empanada is one of the greatest internet provocateurs of all time. Personally, I'd put like Mr. Girl, Milo above Bad Empanada. But I don't know why Ethan would get on his live stream and say that to 50,000 people, personally.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to keep the criticisms to the exact moments. I'm just going to play it. But yeah, his total omission of the existence of Bad Empanada, who's one of like the greatest internet provocateurs of all time, someone who's been decried by Hassan.
Yeah, I would even put Destiny above Bad Empanada. I would put Hassan above Bad Empanada. I'd probably put Ethan above Bad Empanada as a provocateur. But I mean, Ethan, if you think he's that good, I mean, far be it from me to correct your judgment here.
Until he became his lapdog. Everybody knows this guy's a lunatic. Like, it is not a secret. Go on.
Leaves the shit on the floor, something that is probably related to the fact that his former housekeeper is suing him for a number of different reasons.
Now pay attention to her chat.
He doesn't actually have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dog shit. And he has kids, and his kids like crawl into the dog shit, and God forbid, I don't know.
Now this is Denims reacting to this 2 days before CPS was called, and let's just take a look at the chat. It's called CPS, Child Endangerment CPS.
Yeah,
so
Bad Empanada watching this stream on his phone in bed, just kicking his fucking feet right now, just laying on his front, feet up in the air, kicking them back and forth. Look at this, like, oh, greatest in there provocateur, like that, you know.
Needs to unironically call CPS. That's child endangerment. Okay, if his kids have Giardia, they actually need to be taken away. Actual worst father ever. Wow. So Ethan isn't only sexualizing underage girls, he's also neglecting children. Okay. Decliner needs to take care of his kids. What the fuck? Giardia means you're leaving your dog shit on the floor for a while and your kids are walking on it and probably eating it, etc., etc., etc. The chat goes on and on and on. So, yeah.
What they do with it. I don't know if they eat it or if it's just from like contact with it with their hands or something, but
yeah, this isn't a live chat scroll. This is just like chat from some point in this VOD being scrolled while the video plays.
They contracted a parasite.
This isn't exactly how the chat is as this moment's happening.
I had previously never heard of it in my life, called Giardia.
Giardia, by the way, extraordinarily common. That dogs and people actually even contracting that disease
Especially puppy that we just got. That happens a lot.
Yeah, it happened with Ducky. He had it too when we got him. It's very common, and they're feigning like this is some exotic disease. Anyway, it doesn't even matter really because nobody ended up even having Giardia except Olive.
The dog shit that is all over his house.
Dude, how is
this
how is
true?
It that, like maybe once a week I look into what Ethan Klein's been up to, and every time I manage to find more and more terrible shit. This is where Ethan tells a story about his family getting Giardia.
We already have more.
Call CPS. He advocates for a fascist apartheid state, doxes random people, endangers his children. Dogs getting Giardia is not uncommon, but your kids getting it means you're not cleaning up your dog shit. Motherfucker. Okay, well, at least someone's halfway there. Motherfucker's family rooting around in dog shit. Call CPS. Ethan is fighting shadows in his basement. He was wearing diapers. Dogs are shitting all over the house. California Child Protective Services, where are you? Child Protective Services.
I mean, yeah, you should generally, I would say it's a good idea to moderate when people in your chat start calling for specific real life action.
Imagine being such a bad parent. You didn't notice your child ate shit. His child ate shit, ate dog shit, and got an ancient disease from it. Child could die. Why don't they have so many dogs if they don't take care of them? Again, it goes. I encourage you to pause it and read these. But this is the context that was not mentioned. He says, "Wow, Ethan is such a bad dude, and he's so mean to denims."
And then there's the one thing I forgot we do need to mention is that the top right is the full chat, right?
Yeah. So just to make a correction, this is the live chat.
Okay.
This is a highlight of all the CPS.
Is this really all Denims did? I agree. She should tell chat off, but people keep acting like she told her audience call CPS. Yeah, dude. Yes, there's fucking hysteria about all of this. Yes, everyone who's contracted JN from fucking watching Ethan Klein content. Fortunately, I've been dealing with JN my whole life, so I've inoculated myself and I know the coping strategies. But there's many unsuspecting goyim that have been watching H3 podcast recently and are receiving secondhand JN, and they've got no idea how to cope with it.
Calls, which by the way is extraordinarily large amount. It's something like 50-something chats over the course of like 3 minutes. And that is basically your entire chat putting forth this notion of calling CPS unmoderated, unchecked, uncorrected. This is the behavior that Ian is explicitly co-signing by having her do an L Fortnite dance on me.
You are... Okay, so what is that argument? iDubbbz is explicitly co-signing Denim's chat on this day by having Denims in a video.
Putting forth this notion of calling CPS unmoderated, unchecked, uncorrected. This is the behavior that Ian is explicitly co-signing by having her do an L Fortnite dance on me and not explaining why I'm actually angry. That it seems like she's directly responsible for CPS coming to my house in the morning and interviewing my children.
We want to stay out of the drama.
Now, do you not have a problem with that, Ian? Because it doesn't seem like you do. And if that's the case...
Disavow every bad thing this person's ever done before you collaborate with them. Disavow every single... That one time where they didn't moderate a chat message that said a bad thing. You have to disavow that right now. This guy's ridiculous. This guy's lost it. This guy's totally lost it. What is a defense of this retarded shit?
I really gotta say, I don't think you're the good guy in this situation, buddy. And I don't know who you are. Who killed Ian and brought in this fucking weird clone? You know, they say the clone is always dumber. It's supposed to be like the 5th iteration. Like, what happened to the other 4 iDubbbz?
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or
I know,
hate.
man. I know.
We want to stay out of the drama.
You remember that movie Duplicity? He's like the 5th. He's like the 5th one. It's like drooling.
It's not like he's asking for much in this case, though. Just say, hey, that was fucked up. You probably shouldn't allow that in your chat. Spinal, why do you have to make a statement on everyone's chat conduct before you allow them in your video? Spinal, if I have you on stream, do I have to sit here and say, guys... So, you know, Spinal BJ's coming on stream. Now, the other day, he said that he was going to be in contact with Merc Off the Perk, whether she liked it or more than she would like. He said he was going to be in contact with a streamer, female streamer, Murkoff the Perk, more than she would like. That he was going to circumvent blocks and make alternate Twitter accounts to contact her more than she wanted him to contact her. Now, guys, understand, I don't avow that sort of behavior. I think it's wrong to circumvent blocks. I'm going to bring them on now, but just, I need to let you guys know that I completely disavow that. It's really disgusting behavior. Like, that's an insane standard, retard. You have to disavow every bad thing someone's done before you fucking talk to them or have them in a video. If you're asked about it, yeah, talk about it. If it's material to the point, sure. Yeah, but this isn't really that material to the point. This is an unmoderated chat from 2 months ago. The only reason people are able to make this seem like a material point is because Ethan has pushed this idea that they know it to be a snarker that has called CPS. And everyone just goes, well, obviously it's a snarker. Well, obviously it's a snarker, with no evidence. Now, you'll remember, if you've been around on the internet for any length of time, back in the Careful situation, everyone was saying, no, you can't just blame it on Kiwi Farms. You can't just blame it on Kiwi Farms. You don't know where the call came from. Just because there's a website that doesn't like you and is talking shit about you, doesn't mean that they're the ones that called the authorities on you. Don't make a harsh statement. Yes, it was a schizo online, probably. But why would you attribute it to a specific community? Just because there's a significant group that hates you. You don't have the evidence for that. And we all would have said that for Careful's. We all would have said that. Because that's an obvious response. But in this case, because people are bought in to fighting this side, like there's a team sports war going on between Hassan and Ethan, they have just decided that they're going to completely drop all reasoning and go, oh, well, obviously it's a snarker. Obviously it's a snarker. Because that's useful. That's useful. That means they can blame Denims. They can blame Hassan. They can blame Bad Empanada. Which they wouldn't have let happen to Kiwi Farms, by the way. They wouldn't have let that be done to Kiwi Farms. Wouldn't have let that be done to Destiny.
Old Mondays. Now we have shit Saturdays.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses,
reading the chat, co-signing
it's very, very, very dangerous when infants
pretending to have some medical knowledge
get the same sicknesses that adults get. There are lots of things that you can get as an adult.
You're actually so stupid.
Not an ounce of pushback of saying, hold on, guys, maybe you're being over, you know, maybe you're being a little ridiculous. No.
She encourages it. And she's saying that, oh, wow, babies can't get the same diseases as...
Okay, but like, who else has fans who hate Ethan that much? Lots of people fucking hate Ethan, Spinal. He's been on the internet getting in fights for the last 10 years, 15 years. Lots of people fucking hate Ethan. Not least of which, probably, his nanny, who's filing a lawsuit against him. Again, no evidence to believe it's the nanny. But there are obvious other possibilities. There are obvious other possibilities. And yet people insist that it must be a user from a specific community so that they can weaponize the claim.
As adults, it's like, you are obviously childless. And as I said in the content nuke, will clearly remain that way because... I don't think you'd be a good girlfriend or wife just because you're very mean. Okay? I wouldn't want to be with someone this mean, frankly. And so that's the reason why I think she'll be childless. But that's just my opinion. Good luck out there.
You're totally fine.
By the way, you could have made these exact same arguments. Well, what community hates Keffals enough? Hates Keffals enough and is crazy enough to call the SWAT team on her? What community is crazy enough and aggressive enough to do that? Oh, obviously it was Kiwi Farms. Obviously it was Kiwi Farms. And guess what? You would have been fucking wrong, because it seems like it was probably TorSwats. It wasn't 4 different communities back then, Spinal. Why disagree with shit when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about? It was KF. That was the main community that hated Careful's back then. You fucking idiot. Why disagree with shit that you don't know? That you have no clue what you're talking about. It was primarily, almost entirely Kiwi Farms. Her thread got like 3,000 pages in a couple of days or whatever it was. It was like some insane fucking number. It was like the most popular thread on the site.
You'll be A-okay. No problem. A child, a small infant that has no immune system, shouldn't be catching anything.
You literally just explained why infants catch everything. Should I go back? Or are you too... She's actually so dumb, she doesn't even know the words that are coming out of her mouth. And this isn't even the first time she's like... She's perpetually...
If it was entirely Kiwi Farms, that means Kiwi Farms would have done it. But you're wrong. You would be wrong, Spinal. Dude, you're so fucking stupid. You're actually so... Spinal, you're getting timed out. You're so fucking stupid, man. 24 hours, you're gone. The fact that it wasn't them is literally proving my point. You're totally fucking wrong, you stupid sack of shit. It was a guy called Torswats who targeted Kiwi Farms and right-wing politicians and lots of other people and pinned a lot of it on Kiwi Farms, who used the site but was not part of the group, who is now arrested and in jail. So you can imagine the same thing could have possibly happened here, couldn't it, Spinal? You stupid fuck, you fucking idiot. It's so fucking crazy. People just, on the, no evidence, just, there's a community that dislikes them. Oh, well, it must be them. This same bullshit can be applied to you at a moment's notice. Any community you guys use, whether you're in Spicy Chat, whether you're in Chud's YouTube chat, whether you're in my chat, whether you're a fucking commentary guy, whether you're Clipped Live subreddit, whatever, this excuse can be used to blame you for anything at any time. Anytime you're talking shit about someone and some bad thing happens, they can just go, oh, well, you guys are unhinged. You guys are unhinged, so it must have been you. You should be expecting more evidence before you start impugning entire communities or specific content creators on some act that you don't know the fucking details of. Yet you've all accepted over the last couple weeks, oh, well, Snark crazy, so everything bad that happened to Ethan Snark. Everyone knows Snark's fucking crazy. That doesn't mean that you can definitively pin specific actions on that community and then guilt by association creators into that. That's fucking retarded, and you're a fucking idiot.
Self-owning herself.
That has no immune system shouldn't be catching anything.
Baby who has no immune system. What is the immune system for? To stop diseases and infections, to battle them, rather to fight them. And what happens if you don't have an immune system? You get sick more.
Yeah.
I learned that in medical school, which is apparently some deep medical knowledge that she does not have access to.
No wonder his house is covered in dog shit, and his neglected children raised by nannies have contracted parasites previously unknown to science from the feces. I wonder why he skipped over all of this, because everything that I said in this story, which by the way was apparently compiled by his crew.
No wonder this motherfucker's always sick. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense now.
I have 3 kids under the age of 5. Again, childless, like literally so childless. Like, I mean.
And I mean, they also like to include your Tourette's in it. And when you had the tick of sniffing, they were acting like you're either sick or on drugs. So
oh yeah, and they're all fans. They're all like former fans. Like they know I have ticks, and then like all of a sudden, when I'm a bad guy, they have no problem being ableist and pretending like I'm on cocaine.
Also, the other thing, Ethan also leaves something out of this. So if we want to talk about people leaving out context, now iDubbbz left out context. Ethan leaves out context whenever he tells this story. Very important context of what he said on his show that prompted people to call CPS. Where he says, the only way you can get this disease is by eating shit. My kids have got this disease and all this. He's going on about it for like minutes at a time. Don't get on your live stream. If I got on my live stream and said something like, dude, like imagine, okay, let's imagine Rita from Spicy Chat gets on a live stream and says, my dog's walking funny in a way that Oh, wait, the dogs can only walk funny if they've been fucking looking spooked. In a way, they will only look and walk if they've been fucking raped. And then someone calls fucking animal control or some shit or whatever, animal abuse services or whatever. And they're like, I think this guy's raping his dog. So, oh, what, you couldn't tell that there are actually other things that could happen to a dog that can make it walk funny? You really think that I was raping my dog just because I said that my dog was walking funny in a way that it could only walk if it got raped? Like, that's what Ethan's doing. He gets on his show and he's like, oh yeah, my kids have this disease that you can only get by feeding them shit. And he's like, why do people think I'm feeding my kid shit? It's like, dude, what? You did this to yourself.
Which is something perpetually pushed. And even Ian in his video has a moment where he explicitly cuts in a cough or a tick or something. Like it's cut. Like he inserted it intentionally to try to create some atmosphere about me.
Yeah. It makes sense why he doesn't care about Palestinian children when he is neglecting his own. How is this happening? How is it happening?
I don't know.
How is this happening?
Well, it's not.
What a what a despicable human being. I mean, talk about being way over the line, being directly linked to the CPS coming to my house, being unapologetic, being cruel.
Being directly linked to the CPS coming to my house. That's just a lie. He's just fucking lying.
I don't know.
You're the retards defending this guy, by the way. You retards defend this guy.
How is this happening?
Well, it's not.
What a what a despicable human being. I mean, talk about being way over the line, being directly linked to the CPS coming to my house, being unapologetic, being cruel and nasty, and then for Ian to be like,
linked to the CPS coming to his how? Please, someone explain that to me. Someone explain that one to me. How is she directly linked?
Actually, I agree with everything she said, and I have no criticism. In fact, I don't even think the context is important. Is cowardice on a level that
yes, I'm sure Nick Diorio is defending Ethan on every retarded point, but I literally don't watch more than 5 minutes of Diorio's content at a time because he doesn't address points. It's like it's. I don't know how anyone's supposed to watch that. He doesn't actually talk about the points.
Maybe never seen on YouTube.
He would do this. It's this constant thing of like, kyok. Oh, these people look so crazy, and they kyok, move on. It's that every time. I don't watch Diorio.
He's this guy who's like, I'm doing content, Kev. I talk about everything, and I take everything head on, and I debunk thoroughly.
Love Nick, though. Love Nick.
You threw this video together, clearly. It's just, bro, I don't know. It's so bad. It's just so bad.
Well, I'll preempt 90% of my stream is silent, okay? I'm not talking shit on Nick's content. 90% of my stream is completely silent. It's dead air, blah, 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 blah. So, listen, not talking shit on content. I just personally can't watch it.
Oh, hold on one sec. I got it. One sec. I got this.
See what's in the chat.
That's it.
Okay.
Excuse me. Had to take a call. Anyway, where were we?
Well,
Oh yes, my friend.
I'm just not trying to talk crazy shit.
So yeah, I mean,
obviously I know that I disagree with all of Diorio's takes, probably, but I haven't watched any of it. I haven't watched any of it because I don't watch Nick.
From context, right?
Yes.
A little bit. You're friends with him, and you don't have to say anything, but like, what a fucking piece of shit. What a bad friend to put you in that position just for some fucking clout. It gets people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with him? Which is total bullshit. Now, I want to put forth that I really don't think if Adam McIntyre was doing a stream accusing me of neglecting and abusing my children to the point where CPS
say, I love Nick and we hate liars in the same sentence.
She was chatting with him. I don't think she would ever do that. And if she did, I certainly would have a problem with that. Clearly, you can't see the difference because that's what I'm mad about. Your friend Denims, who you are in her chat co-signing her, is doing this, which I just showed.
Yeah.
Olivia is friends with someone who's just talking shit. That's not something that, I'm not going to fucking judge her for something like that, okay? What your friends are doing is significantly and it's so much worse that even comparing it, I can't believe that you actually are doing this in good faith, or if you're actually just so got punched in the head too many times by now.
Also, the fact that he went out of his way to include the crew, and he says with his own mouth, why does Olivia get a pass? Like, so you are choosing to go after the crew when you certainly could just not do that and focus on Ethan.
She's not getting a pass. She didn't do what you did.
Also, you were taking me out of a scary public conversation, and obviously I felt a specific way about the things that he was saying, and you gave me the option to talk to you about it, not in front of everybody, which I was very grateful for.
Of course, you know I got you always. And the thing is, like, yeah, it was a response to.
So this is the shit that's like, because he's loaded it with this bullshit, like, oh, you're a tyrant boss, I care about your employees, retarded shit. They're gonna just keep doing this gay shit where it's like, yeah, total misplay from iDubbbz putting that shit in the video. Because they had this gay shit where it's like, oh no, we're all great friends, we all love working so much. It's like, I'm sure it is a great place to work, but I don't give a fuck. Like, like, yeah, even if he was a tyrant boss, I wouldn't care, you know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm interested in at all.
Some people, there was some grumbling of people being like, why is Olivia friends with Adam? And I wanted to address that. So, like, this characterization that me trying to...
It's like, right, it's like, yeah, Ethan, run your show, run your business the way you want to run your show, run your business.
Help Olivia in a sticky situation with a friend who's now kind of like turned into an enemy of the show who's talking shit, versus you being friends with Denims doing what I just showed you is not the same thing. In fact, not even close. Just
what's this?
Olivia in a sticky situation with a friend who's now kind of like turned into an enemy of the show who's talking shit, versus you being friends with Denims doing what I just showed you is not the same thing. In fact, not even close. It's different worlds, man. And like, if you...
Okay, well then explain how. Because all it is an association. I understand the employee point is stupid, like saying, why does Olivia get a pass? Like, of course she gets more grace because she's employed. Yeah, obviously, that's a given. But he's saying it's not the same thing. The act isn't the same thing. What? Because iDubbbz didn't disavow Denims after her chat said something about CPS around the same time that someone called CPS. Like, no, the act is basically the same. They're friends with someone who is part of the anti-Ethan brigade. That is the act being described. Ethan trying to load this with all the CPS bullshit is just it's worthless. You can't just, you know, say, well, CPS got called on me, so everyone who's ever mentioned CPS in reference to it, anyone whose chat has ever referenced CPS while talking about me now has to be disavowed by everyone. Like, what is this bizarre like tapestry of connections that you're drawing here?
You can't see that, then you're like you're a moral baby. You're so undeveloped, bro.
Different perspectives.
Yeah. Gary V's got better perspectives on this, you know. Anywho. Okay. Olivia did not do anything, and
I want the pass. Do I have to be an employee to get that treatment? Because then you'll just see me as an ally? Or
it's so pathetically dumb. And I said when you were in the bathroom, I just explained that, like, if Adam McIntyre was saying, like, doing what she did, being like, oh, let's call CPS, he's an abuser, he neglects his children, like, we need to call CPS, et cetera, I would be mad at you equally. That would be a big problem with me. And it's something, by the way, that you would never do. Obviously, right? Like, let's be real here, you fucking dumbass. A lot of this is just like, you're so dumb.
Yeah.
You're like dumb or bad faith. What happened, bro?
Like,
what happened?
The obvious points. Yeah.
What is happening? I'm like, it is surreal. It just,
yeah, Denims didn't say let's call CPS. What?
It's just surreal.
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate.
Anyway, here's Ian tearing up a Quran.
That was sent from an electronics place, and it's the full-blown Quran. Some of you guys...
Oh, is this one? We didn't actually even want to show it. So here, you can just switch off.
Bat an eye when I broke that Jesus VHS over my knee.
Here he tears it at the seam.
But I know there's gonna be a lot of people in the audience just cringing when I my money.
Yeah, so he just tore a Quran in half, which I don't think is probably a good thing to do.
Wait, that's based. Ian, you know, many years ago you tore a Quran in half.
You know, I'm saying.
Or is it?
Also, as much as I'm sure Ian would say now that that was sort of like an Islamophobic joke, that he was doing that to upset Muslims, basically, in an Islamophobic way for the entertainment of, like, white racist audiences or some shit. He would probably say some gay shit like that. I don't think, fundamentally, Ian's got a problem with, like, blasphemy or disrespecting religious traditions. I think he would probably be fine with people doing stuff like that as long as it wasn't in a like racist way, right?
Ethan is afraid of
because obviously there are ways that you can employ like religious subversions in a racist way, obviously, where it's just like, you know, you're obviously like when if you go up to some random Muslim and you're like, yo, Aisha was 9 years old. You know, Aisha, Muhammad's wife, was 9 years. You know, he married a 9-year-old. Yeah, obviously that's kind of racist. Just start going up to Muslims and saying shit like that, even if fundamentally you're making a point about religion.
Wrongful termination accusations and lawsuits.
And also, I don't mind again. He does this. By the way, his video is literally like co-written by the Snark subreddit, which tells you everything you need to know if you know what that means. He's world building. He does this thing where they basically like dream of a scenario where I'm being nice to Olivia because I'm afraid she's going to sue me. It's like, how did you even leap? There's like 3 leaps in logic of assumptions. And the fact that that point made it into this video as some assertion of fact is truly remarkable stuff. Truly. Putting my friend Olivia, who's apparently my real friend, in a terribly weird, fucking uncomfortable situation where you end up getting hate for no reason.
Also, don't frame it as like...
And like the point was to also like, I felt like his criticism wasn't really necessary. He was just being mean for the sake of being mean and trying to get like clout with Snark.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously he did make a decision in that point to choose clout over Olivia, in my opinion, because he put her in a really bad situation. So anyway, I don't need to explain anymore. It's dumb. You're dumb. It's wrong. You're pathetic. Moving on.
Other people making it hard on Olivia. You're making it hard on all of these people. Please acknowledge your role in this whole...
What is hard? What's happening?
That's another Snark talking point. Is that the crew is just suffering.
They're secretly
to
grumbling.
Be here,
Yeah,
and they really don't want to be here.
My grumbling is not secret.
It's very public.
It's very public.
That's true.
And constant.
So this bullshit, that's a Snark talking point. That's a Snark talking point. Yeah, your whole video is Destiny talking points, bro. You're doing the same tactic. You're doing the same thing. It's like so crazy. You can't just go Snark talking point, Snark talking point.
People constantly forget.
Yeah, Kiwi Farms talking point.
Dan, you fuck. What a pain in the ass you are. They always leave that out. Yeah, okay, so I'm ruining the life of everyone on my crew, who, by the way, is a slave and here against their will.
Oh my god, people are saying we just made 1 minute in the video.
Oh god, this is why I'm turning the plug-in back on. I gotta turn it back on.
I can't, it's so bad.
You gotta just save it.
It's just drenched and oozing in pathetic hypocrisy and erroneous fucking assumptions.
Yeah,
well, it's not even about like agreed bullet points, really, is it? There are just conclusions that a lot of people come to. It is not hard to watch H3 podcast and come away with the reading that Ethan is putting his crew members through hell, right? That's not really a difficult reading to come away with. I understand that if you look into it enough, then yeah, if you really think about it, sure, they would leave if it was that bad, and blah, blah, blah. But I think from just watching the show, it is not that difficult to come away with that reading. Especially when there's all this shit with AB constantly.
Nightmare. It really is a nightmare.
It's a nightmare. I've only made it 1 minute, you guys. I don't know what to do.
And he left so much out. It's like we have to explain all the shit that he didn't include.
Right.
Rush stupid video.
Just look at him.
Now, it's like, it's not a video about the entire H3 Hassan drama. That's not the point of it. Obviously, is it? It's iDubbbz responding to you and saying what his problems with the way you're behaving are because you called him out. You called on him to stand on his principles. So he's saying, okay, this is the stuff I've seen you doing that I've got a problem with. Yeah, it was mostly focused on Ian's part in the situation and what he thought of Ethan. It's not a whole, you know, Ethan Klein Hassan retrospective.
We gotta do the work.
Well, the CPS omission is a big one because
I agree with that, fundamentally. The CPS point should probably be in there somewhere. That should be in context for why they're spazzing out so much. But it doesn't really change the actions. It makes it easier to empathize with why they're spazzing out. But it doesn't actually change anything about their actions.
Because a lot of this centers around
A lot of it.
And so
Like-
maybe now that it's been established, you won't have to re-explain it over and over.
No.
No.
Good point.
Okay, CS. It's like so crazy how fucking stupid people are. So why involve Hassan? Well, because it takes place in the greater context of the Hassan Ethan drama. That's the context in which Ian was brought up. But that does not mean the video is a complete Ethan Klein Hassan retrospective. Listen to the words I'm saying to you, you stupid fuck. It's not meant to be a complete Ethan Hassan retrospective. No Content Cops are a complete drama retrospective. They are what Ian thinks of that content creator. In this case, Ian was called out by a content creator and then made a response in the form of a content cop that isn't really a content cop. Very true. It's not a content cop fundamentally. It does not operate like a content cop. It does not watch like a content cop. But it is a response video. It is a response drama video. It responds to a small part and voices Ian's criticisms of what happened here. And if you're not catching that, you're just a fucking idiot. You just don't know what's going on.
We're just laying some...
Two guys, everyone with standards, all stopped watching 10 years ago or more, having the greatest sock and bopper fight of all time. Happy Easter, everyone. Thank you for the $10 and the accurate comment.
Laying some fundamentals.
Oh, you were agreeing with me. That no.
I agree.
Okay, the no. I was like, okay.
You know, on Wednesday, I accused Ian of getting his tattoos from a quarter Windy toy station.
Yeah.
I apologize. Obviously, people make fun of my tattoos. I shouldn't have said that. What I should have said is he got his new personality from a 25% Windy toy thing because it's very low quality.
You want to stay out of the drama?
Yeah, I know it.
Thing. Like, it's crazy how warm Ethan is to Olivia and saying how Olivia is essentially just a victim in this whole thing.
How are they spinning me being nice to Olivia as a bad thing? It's
incredible.
I guess people angry at you, like, oh, how can she be friends with? What a point! What a fucking slam dunk, man!
It's fucked up how you're nice.
What a slam dunk, man! His point is that I should have been mean to you, which is total bullshit.
But me and Anissa are spineless.
Yes.
Ethan, your whole system is scrambled.
No, your brain is scrambled from getting punched in the face too many times because you don't understand the situation. I shouldn't make fun of the CTE thing. That's a real complication. Right. Although I didn't choose to get in the ring and keep getting punched in the head like Homer Simpson against Mike Tyson, which is essentially what happened. I rooted for you 2 times, man. And it's like you just get punched in the head. And I told you even last time you were on the podcast, I said, you got to stop fighting and try to make some money from this. And he's like, I'm going to get punched in the head more. And at a certain point, you get punched in the head so many times, you don't know when to stop getting punched in the head. And it just runs away. It's a runaway train.
My intention isn't to throw the employees under the bus. Like, you got...
Oh, so humanistic.
It's very,
Thanks, dog.
It's very clean. You should have
So
just
nice.
not gone there in the video.
So, okay, so we can make fun. So Ethan can make fun of Ian's CTE. So that means Healer's mental disability, and Ethan's kid's Giardia is back on the table. Let's go.
Nice. Also, it's really a bad point. Like, it's so unnecessary to his entire
Yeah.
thesis, which, by the way, I don't really know what his thesis is. We can.
Why are you mean to him and not to everybody else around you?
That's kind of, yeah. I mean, we could try. I'd like to try to
Dude,
formulate a thesis at the end of
that. Dude, Healer, boot your wife off the show, brother. She's making you look fucking terrible. Boot your wife off the show. Never make a show with your wife unless you're Red Bar and Jules. Holy fuck. Why are you mean to him but no one else around you? That's not the fucking point, is it? The point is responding to Ethan's call out and laying out where he thinks Ethan is wrong.
Under in the video.
So nice. Also, it's really a bad point. Like, it's so unnecessary to his entire thesis, which, by the way, I don't really know what his thesis is. We can.
Why are you mean to him and not to everybody else around you?
That's kind of, yeah. I mean, we could try. I'd like to try to formulate a thesis at the end of this, but I really have to play.
I serve as the fucking foundation for calling out Ethan's hypocrisy on the whole subject. And I know that you
speaking
guys
of
have
fucking
probably...
Red Bar, this lazy bastard, Mike David, has not done a show in almost a month and a half since the last episode of Red Bar. Dude.
Push back against Ethan over the years. How often are you supposed to do that? Do you
Again, we're world building, presuming to know the inner workings of what happens behind the scenes with the crew is just an insane point to make in a video that's supposed to be like a reputable,
I stream every day.
Conceived takedown.
Have to do that every fucking week? It kind of seems like...
You know, I can tell your parents don't love you, Ian, and I think it's a shame that they didn't shower you with more love, because clearly... no, I'm just going to assume his relationship with his parents and include that as a talking point. It's that dumb.
Mom, I'm sorry.
That being said, I do believe his parents love him. He seems to have a good relationship with them, which makes this all the more perplexing.
Like it. And that's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job.
It's not your job, and you don't know anything about their job. What are you doing right now?
To confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles.
What are you What are you doing?
On Twitch was not like not my favorite segment to be a part of.
Yeah, friends like the... What are you doing? What are you talking about? He's cosplaying as an employee who's uncomfortable. Based on a clip of me defending Olivia. What is happening?
Well, he's pointing out that they obviously can't do that. They can't just undermine their boss. He's just pointing out that's obvious a dynamic that exists in a workplace. What, dude, that wasn't even a controversial point. How was that point even controversial? Yeah, they can't speak out and like assert their beliefs in quite the same way you can, Ethan. Yeah, obviously. That's just true.
That's exhausting. I don't want to confront my boss. It's not my fucking job.
It's not your job, and you don't know anything about their job. What are you doing right now?
To confront my boss and say, today's segment on rapists and pedophiles.
What are you doing?
On Twitch was not like not my favorite segment.
Both these people interpret each other in the most frustrating, intentionally obtuse way. It's frustrating to listen to. Yeah, and then content creators echo it as well. It's fucking annoying.
Part of?
Yeah, friends like the... What are you doing? What are you talking about? He's cosplaying as an employee who's uncomfortable. Based on a clip of me defending Olivia. What is happening?
Oh, yeah. And our other good friends.
Yeah.
Anissa and Ian. Thanks, Anissa, for standing up for your girl.
Wait, so yeah, this clip isn't connected to that statement.
No,
I was really trying to unpack that. I don't know what his point was at all.
And that's part of my issue with this video, too, is that, like, he's supposedly a good video maker and a good point maker. This video is just so disjointed, totally like fragmented. The arguments are not well thought out, well executed. It's just a mess. And so like his point is that because I was nice to Olivia, therefore all my employees are secretly enslaved.
But how is that connected to like pushing back, like talking about some Predators of Twitch segment and how we didn't like it?
Why that? Like, why that? At least make the... Why is that the example? Bro, you are so...
He's just giving an example. Dude, like, this is the most insane response. Like, dude, what?
You are so weird. You're
weird. You're weird. Wow, now this is where we're going. Crazy. Literally totally feminized, long-housed. absolutely raped and paused. The most feminine behavior of all time. You're being weird right now. You gave an example. You're weird. Wait, you gave an example. You're weird. You gave a hypothetical. You're being weird right now. You're being weird right now. Fuck you, Ethan. Fuck you, man. Reed says, Queen, I just saw a very troubling clip of you using me as an example in a certain context. I was using the name. I was using the name Rita.
So weird, bro.
Actually stood up for you so many times, because like, why would I not? It was crazy.
Yeah, why would you not?
That wasn't about you.
I mean, if that's
Why would you think that was about you?
believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to.
Didn't plan to have to say that, by the way.
No.
It does become relevant, though, at a certain point when you're like, wow, these people are not really good friends of mine. Why is that happening?
This is the day, right? This is the day we
This
got
is
CPS
the
at our
day
house.
that CPS visited us.
When I was so fired up and I was like,
Yes.
shit. Yes. No, I didn't plan one day in my life to have CPS called on me and you would be friends with people that like created that talking point or at least like made it popular. And you wouldn't say anything about them, and then I would call you out. Like, no, I never planned that day to come, and I never thought that I would have to be like, I stood up for you and you didn't. No,
It's all part of your sneaky Jew plan.
Dude, what? It's just like... I saw his reaction to the intro, where he's like... saying like, as if, Ian, like, he's like saying Ian's like calling him Jew boy or something like that. It's like, this guy just sees ghosts everywhere. He's seeing the anti-Semitic ghosts everywhere. It's so crazy, man. He's totally lost it. It's like every 2 seconds, it's like, yeah, you just hate me because I'm a Jew, don't you? You hate me because I'm a Jew. It's like, these tweets from Aristocracy. Is iDubbbz really making his comeback as a cheerleader of YouTube's most vicious anti-Semites? I covered this yesterday, but I'll cover it again now. Absolutely insane to call Hassan Denims, Sean the Black, and Frogan YouTube's most vicious anti-Semites. Twitch's most vicious anti-Semites, I might understand. There's not a whole lot of edgy content creators on Twitch. YouTube has Candace Owens. And many others. This is ridiculous. This is delusional, neurotic, insane. Bullying one of YouTube's biggest and most famous Jews. I guess he's excited to capitalize on how much the world hates Jews now. Scumbag. Yeah, I'm sure that's what Ian was thinking. Oh, everyone hates Jews so much. I'm going to make so much money off of this. That came through in the video, actually. That came through in the video. He legit gathered the 2025 Hitler Youth to bully a Jew with anti-Semitism. Where was the anti-Semitism in Ian's video? And he was his friend. After everything Ethan Klein has gone through, his family being in danger reminds me of the stories my grandparents would tell me of friends and neighbors betraying them. It's just like Anne Frank, guys. It's just like Anne Frank.
Why would you not? I mean, if that's truly what you believed and you weren't just going to use it later.
Of course I was going to.
Didn't plan to have to say that, by the way.
No.
It does become relevant, though, at a certain point when you're like...
£5 for one of my top 5 Jews. Enjoying the H3 Jew review. Keep the content up.
Thank you for the £5, Galaxy Dawn. Thank you.
Wow. These people are not really good friends of mine. Why is that happening?
This is the day, right? This is the day we
This
got
is
CPS
the
at
day
our house.
that CPS visited us.
When I was so fired up and I was like,
yes.
Shit. Yes. No, I didn't plan one day in my life to have CPS called on me and you would be friends with people that like...
My dog looks perfectly normal in spite of everything. Okay.
Created that talking point or at least like made it popular. And you wouldn't say anything about them, and then I would call you out. Like, no, I never planned that day to come, and I never thought that I would have to be like, I stood up for you, and you didn't. No,
it's all part of your sneaky Jew plan. He didn't say that. It's just a little joke. I'm inserting.
But how are you gonna show me in this state, one of our hardest days?
It's horrible.
And you're not gonna say why? What happened?
Totally justifiable anger.
I can't get over that point. I'm gonna keep saying it all day probably.
No,
I just can't get over that it's not in the video.
It's very disturbing. I just don't know who this guy is. I really don't.
I'm gonna stand by you. That's insane. It's
Yeah, I
absolutely
think that's
insane
I
and
think that's how
disgusting.
everyone feels watching your show recently, bro. I gotta be real. I think that's how just about everyone feels watching your show.
But now you choose to hang out with people that would have a problem with you if you defended me.
Yep.
I'm not going to assume that Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we know.
For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very
Sorry, wait. Imagine if someone was... Imagine if when Ethan was sitting there going, for those who don't know, Hila's Israeli. I've got Israeli citizenship. I'm Jewish. Imagine if Ian was reacting to a video of Ethan saying that, and Ian sits there going, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What would the response be? What would the response be?
Sir, do you happen to know of any violence perhaps coming towards Israel, where Hila grew up? Perhaps from Lebanon, Hezbollah, perhaps? Does that ring a bell to you, you dumb, ignorant fuck? How dare you attempt to lecture me on this conflict? You just learned about this like 2 weeks ago, clearly. And you're just...
That's not even what's happening. That's not what's happening.
Hila knows, but I'll say it for anyone who doesn't know. Anissa is half Lebanese and half Irish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we know.
For anyone unfamiliar, the Irish have been on the receiving end of a lot of oppression and genocide. On the part of the Lebanese, they've received a lot of oppression and attacks from the IDF. So Anissa is very well
And sir, do you happen to know of any violence perhaps coming towards Israel, where Hila grew up? Perhaps from Lebanon, Hezbollah, perhaps? Does that ring a bell to you, you dumb, ignorant fuck? How dare you attempt to lecture me on this conflict? You just...
How is it lecturing you on the conflict to say in your video, for those of you who don't know, my wife's part Lebanese. Lebanon's been on the receiving end of some Israeli aggression. How is that lecturing Ethan on the conflict? He's just explaining to the audience a very basic, cursory piece of information. The 8% Arab shit is literally fucking retarded. It's literally so fucking stupid. This bitch was Muslim. She was in Islam. She was Muslim. You can say only 8% Arab, but obviously it occupied more of a position in her life culturally, didn't it? We don't typically analyze these things by looking at someone's 23andMe. And if you're doing that, you might be a fucking idiot.
Just learned about this like 2 weeks ago, clearly, and you're just deferring to Hassan as an expert. It's mind-bendingly dumb. Bro, please call in and debate me on Israel-Palestine. Let's see who knows more about the conflict, you dumb fuck. Holy shit, dude.
Familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to fucking defend you.
Okay, so this is very interesting. Wow. He says on the day that CPS was called and we're understandably heated, he goes, no, I'm not going to defend you. Why? Because you're Israeli.
You're Israeli.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
Why won't I defend you?
She looks slightly whiter than Lona Box, who is also Lebanese. You can see, and she has a surname Joma, you can see a little bit of Middle Eastern in her. If you're a raceful individual who can detect race. You're very raceful like myself. You can spot a little bit of Arab.
Because you're Israeli. That's exactly his argument. Do I have it wrong?
Include the flag.
It's in like the nose.
A 5-year-old could understand what he was saying. So yes, that's what he was saying.
I feel like that's exactly what he's saying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He put the Israel flag and he said, no, she's not going to defend you.
Yeah, I just don't want people to be like, that's not what he meant. I mean, I don't see it any other way.
Stop hallucinating anti-Semitism.
So once again, if you had a problem with Israel, dude, you could have had a problem with us when we were friends making videos and, you know, all of a sudden now I'm not going to defend an Israeli.
Damn you, Jews!
I'm not going to defend an Israeli. Are you
I could tell by the
serious
way
right
she doesn't
now?
have a real
It doesn't matter
job,
if they're
dude.
right or if my friends are insanely harassing them.
Oh my God. Luke in the chat said, Eli's more Italian than Anissa is Lebanese.
That's a joke. I made that joke.
You said that this morning. That's so funny.
I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to
I don't give a fuck.
Dude, like, if a parent grew up in Lebanon, that's enough. If a parent was born and raised in Lebanon, yeah, you're half Lebanese.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, this was us as friends. Apparently, you can't stand up to an Israeli. So that's exactly proving what our problem was with you.
Apparently, they secretly hated us.
Yes.
The entire
So,
time.
like, you're exactly proving what the point was that we were making. That you can't stand up for me because I'm an Israeli.
Israels are never
And
worth
so-
defending. An Israeli.
Yeah, I
Anyone
don't want
who's
to be
born
friends
in
with
Israel.
you.
Anyone who's born in Israel against their choice. People don't choose where they're born, right? We all know that. Anyone who's born in Israel is not worth defending on any condition. I don't even know if he knows that's what he's saying because
Exactly prove
they seek
I don't that Italian.
harass serious right now.
What?
You know.
How is he saying that?
Stop
What?
Pelusa, she's not going to a 5-year-old.
No, please call him. Holy shit, dude.
Familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not gonna fucking defend
Okay,
you.
so this is very interesting. He says on the day that CPS was called and we're understandably heated, he goes, "No, I'm not going to defend you. Why? Because you're Israeli."
You're Israeli.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah.
Why won't I defend you? Because you're Israeli. That's exactly his
he
argument.
made
Do
sure
I have it
to
wrong?
include the flags so a 5-year-old could understand what he was saying. So yes, that's what he was saying.
He's obviously not talking specifically about the CPS call on Giardia thing, is he? He's saying, I'm not going to jump into this fight with you and defend you because there's no way for me to know what's true or not. There's a lot of propaganda. I can't make assessments about when you're being reasonably defensive of Israel or unreasonably defensive of Israel because it would be an insanely cumbersome task that requires me to pick through a bunch of propaganda and reporting. Fundamentally, I think that's what he's getting at here. I don't think he's saying, I can't say you don't feed your kids shit because you're Israeli. That's not what he's saying. I think if you take it that way, you're looking to take it that way. Chris Perez, you know there are reasonable defenses of Israel, maybe not as a whole, as like saying, wow, Israel's awesome actually, but on specific events, there are times where things are claimed about Israel that are untrue. And you can obviously say, well, that's untrue. Israel didn't do that.
I feel like that's exactly what he's saying.
Chris, I don't know. You go back and forth, man. You go back and forth.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
He put the Israel flag and he said, no, she's not going to defend you.
Yeah, I just don't want people to be like, that's not what he meant. I mean, I don't see it any other way.
Stop hallucinating anti-Semitism.
So once again, if you had a problem with Israel, dude, you could have had a problem with us when we were friends making videos and, you know, all of a sudden now I'm not going to defend an Israeli.
Damn you, Jews!
I'm not going to defend an Israeli. Are you serious right now? It doesn't matter if they're right or if my friends are insanely harassing them.
Oh my God. Luke in the chat said, Eli's more Italian than Anissa is Lebanese.
That's a joke. I made that joke.
You said that this morning. That's
It's
so
theoretically possible to lie about Israeli.
I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to
I don't give a fuck.
No,
It doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, this was us as friends. Apparently, you can't stand up to an Israeli. So that's exactly proving what our problem was with you.
Apparently, they secretly hated us.
Yes.
The entire
So,
time.
like, you're exactly proving what the point was that we were making. That you can't stand up for me because I'm an Israeli.
Israels are never
And
worth
so-
defending. An Israeli.
Yeah, I
anyone
don't want
who's
to be
born
friends
in
with you.
Israel. Anyone who's born in Israel against their choice. People don't choose where they're born, right? We all know that. Anyone who's born in Israel is not worth defending on any condition. I don't even know if he knows that's what he's saying because he's obviously lost like a lot of brain cells
That's
he took
obviously not what he's saying, is it?
some denim lessons because he's already owned himself in his own video
That's
so
it.
many times.
That's it.
You just let it run the course, and he owns himself 5 minutes later.
There's actually a condition for this. I forget who coined this, but it's snark-brained. You start using snark regularly, and you get infected with these people's logic, and like it actually scrambles your brain. And then when you come out to the real world and try to express those thoughts, it's so obvious to be like, dude, what? You're like fucking nuts. That's it. That's what's happening. He's snark-brained, which I never thought Ian, my friend, would ever fall down that loop. And by the way, when I say he's snark-brained, I'm not kidding. He was already in previously, what we've shown before, shown screenshots from Snark as a reputable source of information.
We want to stay out of the drama.
God, I could
don't
go on
believe you.
forever. I mean, same guy that says.
I mean,
that
yeah, it
it's
was an
not,
L including that post
like,
about
the-
Icarus Bath. Apparently, it wasn't true. But I think his Ethan didn't. Sorry, not Ethan. Ian didn't actually say with his own words that it was Icarus Bath who was running that account. He just said that you should be more wary of people trying to deliberately bait you into a reaction by clipping certain stuff for your subreddit. Which is a totally reasonable point to make. And Ethan does not practice good discernment or discretion in that regard. Very obviously so.
Chris should be staying
Even
out
the fact he posts like tweets from 28 follower Twitter accounts on his Instagram story like every other day.
of it is sourcing Snark, who has been bullying the crew for no reason.
Everybody. They make everyone's life hell by definition.
Mhm.
And presumably, it seems like he's been browsing there for a while. So
Yeah.
That's friend activity right there. Warning, friend activity. Just look at him, man. Just look at him. Do the Fortnite thing.
I mean, even if he did blame DGG, it's an obvious truth that DGG have had a hand in this. Destiny used to watch Leftovers on stream and talk about how much better Ethan was than Hassan. He primed his audience to be in the right position to essentially, you know, do a little like crowd-funded grooming of Ethan the moment there was something shaking, the moment the relationship was falling apart. So yeah, I mean, a bunch of DGGs did basically move in, settle, you might say, in the recently deserted spot by Hassan, a recently evacuated spot by Hassan. DGG has settled there and did kind of provoke Ethan and others into being more involved, I think.
Take that fucking dumb face in. This man used to be this face used to mean something. Please, God. Please, God.
Like, is this meant to be funny?
Give me the grace and the wisdom to never fall this hard.
Like, neither of you are funny.
That would make more sense than whatever is happening.
That would actually make me feel better. We can treat
He's
that.
possessed.
Yeah.
He didn't mean it in the end.
Get some garlic in the room or something.
Oh, that's vampires.
But I wanted to say,
Okay.
like, I'm not here to split hairs on nationality and stuff. Like,
No, of
she's
course not.
Lebanese. She identifies as that. That's fine, right? But like, he's crediting her as like, well, she's Lebanese, so she has this unique perspective on the world. It's like, excuse me, she lived there. She was
It's not unique. He's not saying it's unique. What? It wasn't unique. He's just saying that's where a lot of her perspective comes from. Yes, she had her dad or whatever was born and raised in Lebanon or whatever, I think people are saying. Her dad was born and raised in Lebanon. Some of her perspective is influenced by hearing about Lebanon, hearing about Israel from her dad. Yeah.
born there. I lived there for 5 years. Ela was born there, though. She didn't have a choice in the matter. Anissa, has she even been to Lebanon? I don't know. I know she didn't grow up there. So it's like, bro, you can't give her authority and then expect us to be like, oh, you guys are idiots. You don't know what you're talking about. It's just not illogical.
But how is that even relevant?
Do you really
to her
believe
not
that?
being able to
Do
stand
I really believe that someone's parents and their parents' upbringing have an influence on how someone grows up to think about the world? No, I think you fall out of a fucking coconut tree, Hellbent. I think you fall out of a fucking coconut tree, like Kamala Harris said.
up for me as a friend?
Because you're Israeli and she's Lebanese.
Every perspective you have is uniquely defined by you with no influence from your parents or their upbringing. It's all uniquely defined by you. It's all complete free will.
You know, the Israelis and Lebanese, they just can't get together.
Thank you.
By the way,
Just,
shout out
like-
to my great 2 employees that I love
well,
and cherish.
Anissa Joma said this stupid thing about Hitler a couple years ago.
For sure.
Right.
So that means our parents didn't have any influence on our thinking.
Yes. Yes.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that
I mean,
Like,
just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed.
So this is the gallant thing, which is
You can't even imagine what Lebanese parents tell their American children about Israel.
This hits.
Yeah, it
this
is.
Snark's greatest
I think he
hit.
may have even ripped this from the Snark subreddit. Like, I think if
Probably.
you go there, you'll probably find this exact compilation that he ripped. Now, this is fascinating to me. They claim that Hila, if you read online about her, the claim is that Hila says children are trained to hate Jews from.
Hellbent, yes, I think your parents have an influence on how you think about things. Even if they get a lot of their news from Hassan or from Twitter, which I don't even know if that's true, even if they get a lot of their news from there, it's undeniable that their parents would have had some influence on their thinking. And if one of Anissa's parents is Lebanese, was born in Lebanon, grew up in Lebanon, that's going to have had an influence in some way, to some extent. It's totally fine to bring that up as an explanatory factor for why she has the feeling she does about it. It's not about nuance. It's not about an intelligent, nuanced position. It's about your feelings and your thoughts being influenced by the upbringing you had.
From birth. What is their evidence?
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that
one?
Like their evidence is Hila doing I mean.
And I don't even remember what, like, sometimes there's multiple conversations happening at once here. I don't even remember where this was going. Like, this was our post-election stream, right? Where we were all...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was lots of chatter back and forth, as the podcast
a
does.
nightmare of a
Yeah.
stream when we were like, okay, Trump won.
So at any rate,
I don't even remember what, like...
So once again, world building on this.
Yeah.
This is their fucking evidence for this
Palestinians are-
insane claim, by the way. This
Is this true? Anissa's father came to Canada as a refugee during a war that Israel was involved in. Is this true? Anissa's father was a refugee?
Ordinary claim that Hila thinks kids are trained to hate Americans, which is what he said, by the age of 2. Pretty extreme claim. The evidence should be pretty extreme.
They're taught at 2 years old.
I think that's a convenient excuse. Okay, then Hila doesn't get to use the fucking Israeli excuse for anything ever again. Every time she gives some retarded fucking take about how amazing Israel is, about how nothing bad happens there ever, actually, then we can drop that excuse. Actually, Hila's a fucking genocidal maniac now. Okay, cool. Let's make it even.
Old to kill Americans.
But no,
Do we have that?
no, not sure. That's obviously a retarded thing to do. That would also be a retarded way to operate, Hellman.
I mean,
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Checkmate.
Your parents influence the
Where
way
does it
you
go?
think about things. You can't just, because you dislike people, you can't just go, oh, well, you're friends with these people. I dislike both of you. So all of you think the same thing because you like each other. It's like the most retarded way of thinking about the world.
From there, like, I don't say anything. I don't know what...
You know, part of the reason why people are like, he's going to do a content cup on you, and I was like, there's no way. Because when I think about, like, actually what's out there, when you get to the nitty gritty, people say a lot of shit, but you can't show or support any of it because all of it is just fucking lies and bullshit.
Dan
And so
has
it's like
for you the clip. Dan has the actual clip.
Oh, okay. Great. Let's watch it
The
unfiltered.
movement of not voting is so funny to me. Especially by people pro-Palestine, because if Trump gets elected...
He's the most pro-Israel president of all
It's
time.
not good.
The context
Yeah.
is Hila's fucking defending Gaza because people like Hassan pathetically voted for Jill
No one's tying it to generational trauma. What the fuck are you smoking?
Stein instead of Kamala Harris and say things as dumb as this.
Hypothetical reality where
They're saying, oh, my dad's from this country. She doesn't want us. Her dad's from this country. She doesn't want to see that country completely carpet bombed and all the countries around it completely carpet bombed. And then Ethan's saying, oh, my wife's from this country. She doesn't want to see this country completely wiped off the face of earth. She doesn't want to see this country dissolved. Both of those are reasonable things to say.
Kamala Harris would not be as bad as Donald Trump, which we have no proof for.
That's insane.
We were synced up there.
That well, I was so proud of that.
My guy.
Did Ethan say Hassan didn't vote for Kamala Harris?
Okay, great. Let's watch it
The
unfiltered.
movement of not voting is so funny to me. Especially by people pro-Palestine, because if Trump gets elected,
He's the most pro-Israel president of all
it's
time.
not good. For
The context is he was fucking defending Gaza because people like Hassan pathetically voted for Jill Stein instead of Kamala Harris and say things as dumb as this.
People, okay, so he's not saying Hassan did. He's saying people like Hassan did. So, I mean, there's a kind of a workaround there, but yeah, fundamentally, I agree with you. He's being fucking retarded here.
so funny to me. Especially by people pro-Palestine, because if Trump gets elected,
He's the most pro-Israel president of all
it's
time.
not good. For
The context is he was fucking defending Gaza because people like Hassan pathetically voted for Jill Stein and
Hassan said he didn't vote for Kamala. Didn't you do it on stream? Didn't you literally do it live?
instead of Kamala Harris and say things as dumb as this.
Hypothetical reality where Kamala Harris would not be as bad as Donald Trump, which we have no proof for.
That's insane.
We were synced up there.
That well, I was so proud of that.
My guy, dude. My guy.
That was what's up.
Shout out, dude.
That's the kind of chemistry we do here.
Yeah, because saying this is defending Gaza is fucking retarded. You're not actually making a defense of Gaza there. You're using Gaza as a wedge to attack people you don't like. It's not actually, you're not actually making a statement. You're not making a defensive statement of Gaza. You are pointing to Gaza as a, like, playing like a piece on the board as like, oh, you don't want to lose this, do you? You don't want to lose this, do you?
Ethan and I both talked about how people should vote for Kamala, and especially if you care about the Palestinian cause, because Trump is going to be way worse.
By the way.
And it's well known. He's friends with Bibi. They both are made of the same kind of, you know, shitty behavior.
Yeah.
And that was also what I was trying to say about Gallant.
Of course. And so, again, he takes you nodding and it removes it out of the context of you defending.
I think she's trying to make the point that she's saying, you know, Kamala's better for harm reduction on Gaza, just like she was saying about Gallant, that he was a moderating voice or whatever. I think that's her point here. I understand she's not the sharpest tool, but I think that's her point, right, guys?
Again, he takes you nodding and it removes it out of the context of you defending Gaza.
For the movement.
I think it is.
Okay, look, the Gallant thing, as far as I understand, you are retarded if you're fighting that. I understand he is like a piece of shit. Fuck, whoops. He is like a total piece of shit, but he was a moderating voice in terms of the military objectives in Gaza, right? He was trying to end operations, I think, right? Wasn't he trying to move towards a ceasefire?
Fucking becomes insane.
Dude, at his rally, Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that?
She didn't even respond to me.
Yeah, you can say after it was basically flattened, but they got rid of him and kept going. So, I mean, it would have been better. No. The sooner it ends, the better.
Immediately.
The less destruction, the better.
I'm not, and I'm still probably thinking.
He cut it
also,
together, so it looks like you immediately responded.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
I mean,
like Kamala,
the other one.
I could add it.
He says that.
Both of his clips are about.
Listen, there's a lot of things being said. You listen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and keep playing.
In this rally? Oh, that's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta watch the Rudy
I'm
part.
just saying, I really think
and
it's
then
important
they
to
say,
people.
I haven't seen this. This is like news to me.
He says, I want to watch the Rudy part. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
So show me what's so bad. I don't understand.
No, this is part of what is so
What is
maddening.
so bad
So what is said here?
The snark.
I don't really understand what was said here.
It's like you immediately.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Do we have that?
She didn't even respond immediately.
Yeah, but she does the head bob to the sides.
I'm not, and I'm still probably thinking.
Cut it
also,
together so it looks like you immediately respond.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Okay.
I mean,
Like
Put that
Kamala,
under the other one.
I could add it.
he says
Ironically,
that.
both of his
He
clips
says
are
that. Listen, there's a lot of things being said. You listen.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and keep playing.
In
He
this
said that at the rally.
Oh, that's epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta watch the Rudy
I'm
part.
just saying, I
haven't seen it.
really think
and
it's
then
important
there
to
I
people.
say I haven't seen.
We got to watch that. I haven't seen
This
it.
is like news to me.
He says, I want to
haven't
watch
seen
the
that
Rudy
clip.
part. I haven't seen
Yes.
it. Yeah.
So show me what's so bad. I don't understand.
No, this is part of what is
What
so
is so
maddening
bad
about this-
here?
This snark
It
phenomenon.
was never implied by the clip that she had seen the quote. It was relayed to her. The idea was relayed to her. They're teaching their kids to kill Americans at 2 years old. And she got, her reaction to hearing that information is, oh, well, I mean...
phenomenon is truly mind-blowing stuff. They're in like a collective psychosis where they world build, and that's what it becomes. Right?
How is that? Well, that
we
happened.
We got to make some ground here.
Okay. The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are
Wiggles
pissed
been
about.
blocking Ethan.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense.
I just want to explain that one.
I don't know.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So yes, you.
That's what it becomes. All right, let's move on. We got to make some ground here.
Okay. The other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
He looked mean. I thought he was mean just because he looked mean.
No.
A really okay, yeah. So the quote is, "I understand that he's a moderating voice. That is absolutely true. He was a moderating voice. He was trying to stop quite so much happening. But say a really good guy." And then he says he looked mean. Was he mean? No, he's not. Like, did she apologize for this though? I'm pretty sure, right? She did apologize for this, I think, right? The next day or something. Yeah. So she apologized. It's not like the worst thing in the world. Like, obviously she was like, okay, I reacted in the moment, whatever. It's like the worst thing in the world. But I think it's like, it's reasonable to display the vibe on the show.
So yes, you caught us. We're not gonna run to your defense.
I just want to explain that one.
I have the context.
Okay.
I have this whole one is so stupid.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you.
It's like it's like eye rolling at this point. It's like
I
brother.
want to explain it because people bring it up nonstop. I apologize for it right away when Ethan made a video to address this on his Ethan Klein channel.
Next day, I think
made
it
a
was.
quick appearance in that video just to say I'm sorry, I misspoke. I shouldn't have called him a really good guy. Like, I don't know why I said it like that. The point I was just trying to make is that BB fired him because they were disagreeing.
Here, you don't need to paraphrase it. Let's watch it.
the reason I brought it up was mainly
This is the next day.
to express the frustration with BB and him firing the one guy that was somewhat, attempting at moderation. It wasn't really so much to
So
say.
yeah, I think this is reasonable. However, the reality is that there is this constant foot in mouth issue on Ethan's show, and yeah, so why would anyone of your friends like start throwing themselves in the firing line when you're having moments like this?
Say Gallant is a good guy. I shouldn't have used that word. That was a bad choice on my part, considering stuff that he has said that I was not even thinking of. Really coming from the concerning feeling of like, we have Trump in office and BB just fired the guy that is opposing him. That's all I was trying to say, but I do understand that was not a good choice of words and I would not have said that again. So
That sounds pretty sincere. I don't see any reason to hold that over your head forever as proof that you're genocidal IDF.
That's not even what Ian's saying. That's not what Ian's saying. He's not saying she's genocidal IDF. He's not saying that.
Propagandist, which is what he's claiming.
No, it's not. What?
Stepping away for a little while.
Yeah,
from
and
being
then
on
Hila's
camera,
stepping
being
away because the reaction was so cruel and over the top.
Yeah.
You stepped away for a while. But the main purpose of that comment was that, again, just to fucking explain it for the 100th time. Gallant wanted to end the war. In the headlines at the time, he was in the headlines.
I'm so very sorry I said Greg Estrazo was a paragon of virtue. I mean, I think Hitler was very unfair to him.
For opposing Netanyahu and wanting to end the war. That's what he was in the headlines for, and that's what we're referring to. We misspoke. It didn't sound good. We immediately corrected ourselves. You know, that's how mature people do. That's how you. That's how you're supposed to handle yourself, isn't it? Like, what more do you want me to do?
I have no problem apologizing and admitting and whatever is needed when things happen.
So, but his claim, if you go,
shit coming.
So he goes back and his claim is important
Lisa
here.
is very well familiar with the propaganda and the shit coming out.
I'd love to chat with her about Israel-Palestine. No, I wouldn't actually. That would be a terrible experience.
That sounds like it would be
That'd
awful.
be a terrible experience. Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's not.
Out of Israel. Choosing now, out of all the times, to be like, please defend me. No, we're not going to fucking defend you.
Rudy was saying that Palestinians are taught at
So he's saying I'm not defending you because of these two things.
2 years old to kill Americans.
Do we have that?
He cuts you nodding, which is totally like he cut out like a good few seconds there in between.
I do wonder if iDubbbz would do a response to Ethan's response. I do wonder.
I mean, just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about.
The Gallant thing, which is just so bad faith. It's
But that is
such a low blow. Like,
such a
bro, you
disgusting
know.
way to edit me into like, look at this Israeli bitch.
Yeah, and the insinuation is that you can never you can never correct yourself. You're never allowed to correct yourself. And Ian, that's kind of what your whole thing has become, right? You know?
He looked mean. I thought he was mean.
And then he shows a headline, Israel warns can send Lebanon back to Stone Age. Gallant says, yeah, I mean, like we said, we were excited that he wanted to end the war. Is that a problem?
Just because he looked mean.
No, it's not.
So
this, by the way, is his idea of joke and editing. Like, I don't know what's happening. The editing on this video is significantly worse than usual. His jokes are like, there's one thing to be said about like silly, like low editing memes, like the I just learned Photoshop meme, you know, with the frog. Like, that's funny. But this is the substance of all of his like additive edits. And it's all just like PNGs he directly downloads or some shit. I think someone else has been editing his videos, and this might be the first time he's been forced to edit his own video, and he's very bad at it. He's very bad at it.
That
has to be because it just doesn't make sense otherwise. Like,
why are people expecting jokes? Because it's a content cop.
So yes, you caught us. We're not going to run to your defense when, I don't know, we follow people.
Yeah, and once again, what an insane characterization that I'm mad because you follow people. And he goes on about this.
We be following. That's one fucked up thing that you can say about Anissa and I is when we're on Twitter, we do be following.
So
the problem.
Okay, if you want to hang out with those people and have no spine and not stand up for another girl that stood up for you, enjoy your new friends.
She's friends with people like Denims.
I know.
In her chat,
yeah.
Which I'll
she's
show.
friends with
Denims
Denim.
is actually participating in this whole.
Here he brings the
child
employees
protective-
again into it.
He says, I want to play this whole part because I have a response. Over half of their current and former employees follow Denims. It's almost like that's not the problem. Service lie.
Yeah,
Which I'll
and if
show you
you're
guys
friends
in a
with
bit.
them, then you're seeing what they're saying.
You'll notice that Ethan and Hila start talking about this Denims character. Originally, the complaint was
Right,
about
the girl who accused me of leaving shit on the floor and that CPS should be called, right? Just to remind you, Ian, because I don't know if you know that.
about my former editor. He's been chatting shit about Ethan and Hila for the past year at least. They only care about it now because I guess it was spoon-fed to them via their Reddit that's clearly looking out for them. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat
Unlike, I guess you're looking out for me.
it, where we are friends with Denims, but I would...
Well, I find that reprehensible. Like, that's my problem. That's what I
That's
said.
exactly what we were
That's what
saying.
you confirmed. Again, the self-owning in this video is catastrophic. Yes, you're friends with Denim. Are these people in the crew friends with Denim to that extent where, let's see, here's Anissa in Frogan's chat defending her tweet about...
Frogan, though.
Sorry, hold on. Here's Anissa in her chat, okay, defending her take that October 7th was like a justified act of resistance or whatever. It was just insane. I mean, we can show it for posterity. Maybe it's even here. But you guys know the tweet. It was something like, left, or people want to phone. I don't remember. Yeah.
Who fucking who?
I think he will realize what he's saying isn't the best in a week or so. It's fueled by pain. I really hope he talks about it calmly later. I think it'll be better. What? Well, what's wrong with this? What? But that just makes me think better of Anissa. Wait, that improves my opinion of them. Like, what? Is that not reasonable?
About sorry.
Why we so? What was she reacting to?
Here's Anissa in her chat. Okay, defending her take that October 7th was like a justified act of resistance or whatever. It was just insane. I mean, we can show it for.
Okay. She's not defending Frogan's take there. You're obviously saying something on the stream that Anissa has an issue with. And she's saying, okay, whatever you're saying there is fueled by pain. Anissa is not defending Frogan's take there.
Posterity. Maybe it's even here. But you
yeah,
guys
they're
know
probably saying shit. They're saying, literally the whole rest of the chat is going in on Ethan. Frogan is probably saying Ethan's a piece of shit. And she's saying, I think he'll come around. I think he knows that, you know, he's got some of the stuff he's saying isn't great, and but I think it's very personal to him. That's what she's saying. It's a very personal issue to Ethan.
the tweet. It was something like left or people want to phone. I don't remember. Yeah.
Who fucking who?
Did you send it? 5B, baby. We know what's up. We got numbers. We got letters. That's what it is. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this is the tweet, by the way, that
But wait, but you're not showing that this is what this is about at all. Dude, this is like the most dishonest shit in the world. Look what the rest of the chat is saying right now. Woke left is saying Gaza shouldn't be bombed. I can't. It was bad because Hamas. So,
here's Anissa.
Like, I don't. He was making references to Iraq or Iran, comparing it to the Iraq wars. She's not defending. It doesn't seem like this is about at all that tweet. I understand that might have prompted like whatever rant Ethan went on.
In her chat, okay, defending her take that October 7th.
It's not what she's doing. No, I'm not having callers in right now. Fuck off.
It's just insane. I mean, we can show it.
No one wants to talk about the fucking Knesset. They want to watch fucking drama.
But you guys know the tweet. It was something like left or people want to phone. I don't remember. Yeah.
Who fucking who?
Did you send it? 5B, baby. We know what's up. We got numbers. We got letters. That's what it is. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So this is the tweet, by the way, that what's the saying? Set 1,000 ships to sail or something. Frogan, leftists preach and foam at the mouth at the thought of a revolution happening in America, but as soon as it happens in the Middle East, what they're doing is wrong. Now, this is important to note that on October 7th at 2:30 a.m., me and Ela were in bed as the story was breaking, listening to Israeli families call into news stations begging for help and being burned alive in their safe rooms. This was as scenes of horror were unfolding as they were in
It's like, I can't stand the people who follow this conflict like crazy like this. Why are you watching videos of Palestinian babies getting scorched by firebombing? Why are you listening to the screams of Israeli families on TV stations as their daughter is like raped and murdered in a fucking music festival? Why are you posting charred brisket on Twitter? That ish weird. Let's stop. How about instead of that, you read some nice, dispassionate, mainstream media reporting on the details of specific acts. How about instead we do nice, dry, mainstream media reporting instead of watching Twitter videos of charred brisket?
It's civilian living quarters and civilian concerts slaughtering, raping, murdering, mayheming civilians. So at the exact moment that that's happening and her take is fucking insane. It's actually insane. And so to see Anissa in the chat saying, I think you will realize what he's saying isn't the best in a week or so. It's fueled by pain. I really hope he talks about it calmly later. I think it will be better. Now, again, it sounds nice, but she's talking about Hamas killing civilians. I'm not changing my mind on that one, and but I'm glad. And so when I see something like this, I'm like, oh God, I didn't know that it was like that. I didn't know that she was like, remember Milhouse, the guy who's like laughing and giggling, all giddily about Israelis running for their life? We watched it on Wednesday. Here she is in his DMs. He accidentally leaked it. And guess who's there? Anissa. Yeah, this guy is probably, I mean, the most despicable of the bunch. Here is Anissa, something saying, if there's anything you're unsure, I don't know what they're talking about, but here's Denims in his convo. Here's someone just talking about me. It's like, you all are talking together. You're involved in this, and I know that. Like, let's not pretend like it's not fucking obvious. It's not because you're...
Okay, but we know that Ethan's speaking to people too, right? We can probably think of a few people that Ethan's speaking to in the background.
Following them on Twitter. That's insanely stupid. It's like a baby...
Probably some other people that are quite, you know, morally despicable to a significant portion of the audience.
Brain take. What an idiot.
We want to stay out of the drama.
That's just not true. I just don't think that was a genuine statement. I think I closed it. Oh, no,
and why didn't they say anything until you started going off at them?
That's right here.
I would say it's the same level of friendship that we had with Ethan and Hila. It's like kind of
That's so fucking insultingly... Like, they really rewriting their history of like, we barely knew him. This is like Trump talking about Epstein.
The only thing Ethan did...
Except I'm...
Okay. Okay. You really just compared yourself to Epstein?
This is like Trump talking about Epstein.
The only thing Ethan did...
Except I'm not Epstein.
Points out is that...
Dude.
I don't know if you want to read... I guess, yeah. That at least Milhouse did not endorse that you killed Shredder and the CPS stuff.
Which is all I wanted to hear from Ian,
right?
Ironically. Okay, I'm pausing too much.
Internet friendship. We think that she's a good person like we think Ethan and Hila are good people. Kind of a tricky situation.
Asterix Israeli. Don't defend them.
How can you possibly think that they're both
I don't
good
know how much
people
more
at
else
their
I can do.
core?
Well, one's wrong. One did something wrong and despicable to the other one. It's not rocket science, dude.
People can have crash out moments. People can say things that they don't mean. People can say things because they want internet clout and attention. I don't know.
Unlike this video, which, reminder, fucking 3,000 views after 3 weeks, sir. Talk about snark-brained a loser. Why are you in Hassan's fucking office doing the Fortnite dance? Was that not for clout? Was that not straight like offering yourself up to like the altar of the most obvious bait of all these fucking people who are frothing at the mouth about me on Twitter to come and support you? Please, bro.
I think they're both probably guilty of saying things that they don't mean for internet clout and attention.
Bro, you are so smug. She did CPS. Remember that? Okay, good.
Right now, one's a little bit more.
She did CPS, dude. What? Please explain to me how you defend this. This guy's insane. This guy's totally insane. He's just smearing people.
Nasty to me than the other.
Oh, so it's personal. Okay. I just don't see how you can be my friend and also be friends with someone like that. Clearly stated. Clearly stated, and he says he's friends with Denim. That was my problem.
Yeah. So I already forgot about you.
I actually have a lot of friendships that are kind of that way, where it's like, you know, one of the friends doesn't fuck with the other friend.
Do you? Who, like, are you fucking 8? Like, who has friendships like that? I don't even believe him. I don't know why he's claiming that. I got a whole bunch of friends. They hate each other, but I got a, what?
But there is
no, people aren't just giving Ethan charity, are they? They're completely ignoring every lie he tells and lying for him. Then it's not just giving Ethan charity. People are just lying.
Is he saying Andrew Tate is his friend? Oh, Steiny.
Who kind of fucks with both of them.
They're completely abandoning all of their previously stated principles and lying for him. Everyone who defended Kiwi Farms against Careful's back in the day, absolutely abandoning any principles they had there by signing on to the CPS shit. Accusing a specific community with no evidence. Encouraging lawsuits against that community with no evidence. Just saying, oh, let's let Ethan probe around. Let's let Ethan blackmail people for their doxes. Yeah, calling CPS on someone is messed up. Yes, no one disagrees with that. Erroneously calling CPS on someone is fucked up. They have no evidence to say that it was Snark. There is no reason to place the responsibility on Denims. It's ridiculous to expect everyone who's ever interacted with Denims to make a statement on the CPS call because some people in Denims chat were talking about CPS around the time of the call. Or if not even around the time of the call necessarily, but like within that few week period. Like just literally transpose this situation onto Careful's. Replace the CPS call with the Careful swatting. No, that wasn't Kiwi Farms, but you don't know what this was either. You don't know who did this. You don't have any evidence. They only knew it wasn't Kiwi Farms that did the swatting. First of all, they knew it wasn't Kiwi Farms that did the doxing originally. First of all, that is true. That's one thing. But the swatting, that was also attributed to Kiwi Farms because an email was sent claiming credit or some shit. Yeah, it turned out to be Torswats, who was actually an enemy. But it doesn't matter if you think Denims did it. There's no reason to think Snark did it. You don't have evidence for that. But people will just pin it on Snark. Yeah, Torswats got arrested. Yeah, he's in jail. Who's people? No, not just Ethan. I'm pretty sure Chad and Diorio are both saying it was Snark going. No, it was obviously it was Snark. Obviously it was Snark. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is. It's completely absurd. I'm sure Lonabox says the same thing. I haven't seen his coverage much, but I'm sure Lonabox saying the same shit. I don't get why Ethan is infantilized because they don't see him as a person. They don't see him as a fully grown adult. They see him as a retarded animal that they can pit against Hassan and other lefties. Well, I don't think that's even that's not Chud's motivation, to be clear. I think what comes through when I watch Chud, when I see Chud talk about it, what comes through to me is deep trauma about being betrayed by all of his old lefty friends. I think that's what I see from Chud's coverage. When he's talking about being devoured and the Jordan Peterson tweet, it's like, okay, I get it. You've been through this. I asked 6 times in his chat, how did Ian snake Ethan? How did Ian snake Ethan? I didn't get a response. It's like, it's not snaking someone to just be friends with other people as well. And then when one of them demands that you disavow the other group, you go, okay, well, I'm sticking with them. That's actually it's a very normal response to that sort of situation. They've been dunking on Ethan. It's not, Ian isn't obligated to stand up for Ethan. The Lena thing is not messed up. Literally, the Lena thing is actually retarded. Ethan knew Lena was fighting in Creator Clash. Ethan talked about Ian, twice on his podcast? Once when the editor tweets first happened, and then when the CPS thing happened. And was attacking and making demands. That was when Lena was already scheduled to fight, so Ethan has put her in that position. No, Ian didn't bring it up first. What? Ian only responded. Ian didn't talk about it first. What are you on?
Chaser. He has enough on his plate. Gox excluded.
Ian has only responded to Ethan. Ethan brought everything up first and put Lena in that position. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just laying it out. I'm laying it out. I seen you saying you're agreeing with me, but I'm laying out what I'm saying. Ethan started the fight with iDubbbz when he already knew Lena was fighting in Creator Clash. Ian has only responded. So any position that Lena has been put in is because of Ethan. Ian also tried to call Ethan, and Ian refused. So this could have been avoided. Yeah, the whole way, it's Ethan's fault for this deteriorating. Ian was never under an obligation to disavow an ex-contractor. That's not a reasonable expectation for your friend. And everyone around here should get that. Especially after all the DK shit.
Yeah. But separately, yeah, there's a lot of friendships that are like that. I'm not gonna make you guys meet up and kiss or anything. I get it. You guys are in fucking, you're either my best friend who's deep throating me to the base of my cock,
That was epic.
What?
That was epic.
No, it's not reasonable to expect your friend to publicly defend you on something that's totally unrelated. It's not reasonable to expect that. It would be a good thing for a friend to do, but even in this case, it would not help. What? And Chud laid this out. You know, even everyone gets this, I think. Even Chud gets this. It would be ridiculous to expect him to come out and say, Ethan does not feed his kids his own shit. Ethan's house is not covered in shit. And it would not convince the people who are convinced of that. It would not change the people's minds. Because they think that because they just fucking hate Ethan. And they will always fucking hate Ethan. Ian saying, guys, that's not based in reality. Isn't going to change that. And it's ridiculous to expect them to do that.
Big joke. Remember iDubbbz? He's edgy and he says cool stuff, sexual stuff, edgy stuff. Oh, that's the old iDubbbz. He's so funny and edgy. We love that imagery.
He also burps sometimes.
He does burp in this video, which is like, oh, he did the thing, bro. Imagine me still doing Vape Nash.
Yes, obviously the outcome matters. What if publicly defending him would make it worse, Freddy? What if you knew that publicly defending would make it worse? What if there is even a good chance it makes it worse? What, iDubbbz, who barely talks about drama ever at this point, comes back to talk about drama to say, guys, listen, who's totally hated, guy who's totally hated, by the way, everyone fucking hates iDubbbz, comes to say, oh, listen, guys, Ethan doesn't feed his kids his own shit, okay? Yeah, there's no way this could possibly go wrong. There's no way this could possibly backfire. There's no way this could possibly bring increased attention, increased incentive to fuck with them. Get the attention of places like KF on it more, like stuff like that. There's no way this could ever spiral and become worse, is that?
That's literally what he's doing.
He isn't obligated because there's no way to see how that would go, and because it's a ridiculous claim. It's not relevant to him. Like, what is the relevance to him? Are all your friends obligated to defend you on everything? Are all, like, it's not relevant to iDubbbz at all. It's someone who used to work for him, someone who did work for him a while ago. An ex-employee says, not even employee, contractor, said some shit. Why does Ian have to say anything about that?
Like, holy shit, bro.
Vape Nation.
Holy shit.
Or you are Satan. You're the devil.
Oh, he said devil silly. He's back. He's so back. The last thing I said to Anissa, we were texting before I ever talked about it. She's like, I don't care about this guy. He's a nobody. And
no, he wasn't working for them at the time.
And I said, well, then
he wasn't working for them at the time. It was Creator Clash 1 or 2. He did editing work for. Wait, okay, Freddy, wait, so your argument is that Ian should jump into the drama and fight on Ethan's side broadly. You're not even saying about a specific claim. You think Ian has an obligation to broadly enter into dramas with Ethan and fight alongside him. Then make your fucking point in a full sentence, okay? Because right now, you're incoherent and everything you're saying is completely retarded.
And you'll have no problem publicly denouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the conversation ended.
She never replied.
Ethan, you can't even phrase it in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're being coercive and shitty.
It sounded totally reasonable, actually.
Ian, say Gallant's a great guy right now. Ian, say Gallant's a great guy.
Yeah, I didn't think it sounded coercive or shitty at all. We had a frank conversation where I was like, what? Like, this is totally unacceptable. Like, I don't understand how you guys can, like, associate with this person.
We're all creators and we all are online. So for us to ask you to say something publicly is not that
Let me
weird.
pull up my text with her.
It's not me asking, like, a childhood friend that's not on the internet. Like, hey, can you go say something publicly for me or we can't be friends? Like, it's a little different.
Let's see what this conversation with Anissa was like here. In fact, let me give you... Here, I'm going to give this to one of you guys and you can see if there's anything interesting in here. That's worth calling. I haven't reread it,
I don't think anyone deserves that level of cruelty or hate.
God, look at Ducky. He's so cutie right now.
We want to stay out of the drama.
Wait.
So comfortable looking.
Ian said that he didn't think that he said he thought people were taking some of the harassment too far. That the harassment was too far. Did he not on his podcast say that obviously some of this shit's going too far? That's literally what you're asking for. Yeah, on his podcast. Yeah. What else? Ethan does everything on his podcast. No one watched that shit. Okay. So now you want him to stake a strong claim on his biggest platform. Okay, yeah, you're just completely retarded. I'm going to stop responding to your messages now because you've shown you're just completely retarded. Thank you. Ethan stuck up for Ian during the controversy. For Ian not to think he needs to keep that energy when the situation goes the other way makes him a massive twat. You do not. If Ethan did that, that's Ethan's choice. He does not get to expect repayment, which he did. He was demanding and expecting repayment when Ian is under no obligation.
Yeah, so my conversation with Nisa was like, why are you friends with this person? They're despicable. Look what they did. And she's like, I am so sorry. That was so unfair and blah, blah, blah. And I says like, well, then like you should have no problem saying something like about it. And she, after that, the conversation ended on that. And I was like, well, exactly what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you should have...
It is a point where it's like, there's sides. You're picking a side. And I'm not going to sit around and pretend like I'm cool with you being friends with Denim. She's a disgusting human being.
See, like, this is what I mean. He's saying it right here. He's saying it right here. You can't be friends with Denims and be friends with me. You have to pick sides. No one's going to want to be friends if you behave this way. Ever.
Who are you?
I'm publicly denouncing it, right? Does that sound like a friend? It kind of sounds like something a powerful villain would say.
Thank you for the compliment.
Yeah,
I
middle
also
school
see myself
behavior.
that way. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, you guys were already a shitty friend, so it was kind of like, just saying what it was, you know.
But it was so funny how she immediately went to comment everywhere, like on our subreddit. She immediately had to comment like, oh, he doesn't work with us anymore.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's all.
Not defending us, by the way, not disagreeing with anything he said.
What she said.
But then say that you don't
Okay, do you have
agree.
anything else to say for your friends, though?
One of the reasons Anissa was so quick.
So thank you for pulling this, Ian. That's not Ian's editor. That's someone Ian hired before CC2 who did some editing but isn't working for Ian anymore and hasn't for a long time.
You're at Short Toast Gaming. If you live your life with a bunch of miserable quid pro quo, pure transactional relationships where every time you do something you expect an equal contribution in return from one of your friends, then you can do that. But most normal human beings who don't have like some crippling social disorder don't operate like that. And they generally evaluate each situation on its own and decide based on, you know, what their principles are and where they land on that specific situation, how they're going to act. They don't just go, well, my friend did something for me, so I'm doing something back.
Now we read this and understood. It's like, okay, fine. But if you go to his website, it's all creator clash. And I think Dan sees something interesting there.
To clarify things in your Reddit is because
obviously there is a transactional element to all relationships. Yes, obviously. But the idea that you have to literally quid pro quo, like, I do this for you, you do that for me, and it's expected, that's an insane way to format your friendships. And you will end up a miserable, lonely loser.
your Reddit was already talking about who this editor is, and they were spreading misinformation that it was our co-host.
Let's see this hard-hitting screenshot.
Were you just going like super deep in the comments?
No idea who this person is. I don't follow iDubbbz or have Twitter, but like, is it well known this person's their editor? How could they think nobody would notice? Yes, he's on a podcast. So this, okay, this person is wrong, and this was not a popular opinion. I knew this was not true, and other people knew. There's someone on his podcast that is not the person they're talking about. And so that never really percolated to the point. And again, he's showing as evidence 2 likes, 0 likes.
0 likes. Clearly, people disagree.
Like, why are retards completely incapable of engaging with topics in live stream chats? You guys are so dumb sometimes. If you do something for your friend, when the time comes, don't act in kind, everyone feels peeved by that. Literally everybody. It's completely normal and weird to say otherwise. Yeah, no one's saying that. Good thing, literally no one's saying what you're saying they're saying then. Because that's not come out of my mouth at any point. You don't get to demand, and it's not obligated for you to be repaid. That's what is being said by everyone. That is the clear point being made by the video, being made by me, is that you're not obligated, and your friend cannot expect and demand that you do it. Okay, you literally don't know what the way you don't understand how expected is being used in a sentence. You're literally being removed from chat. You're gone. You're gone. You're too dumb to engage here. You're too dumb to engage here.
The comment.
He has arrows pointing to these hard-hitting evidence here. 2 likes, 0 likes. Bro, that's not hard hitting.
Also, the Reddit post says the name Froggy Tonic.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, we're talking about the right person. So what does it matter what people said in a Reddit
people were
thread?
confused.
Oh my god.
Froggy!
But also, like, totally understandable. Okay, I'll continue.
Yeah, chat's been crazy because there's a bunch of 70 IQ, poor, fat, stupid, incel retards who seethe about Hasan because he's more attractive and rich than them. And they see him fucking porn stars, and so they have to lie and mislead and scam and fake to try and desperately get what they want, to try and desperately get a drop of blood from Hasan as he rockets into mainstream popularity, talking to fucking AOC and Bernie. You're saying that's bait, but I feel like it's more and more true every day. Well, I do say that to annoy people, but it's more and more true every day because I stop understanding. I just don't understand what the fucking arguments people are making are. They're so stupid. Everyone sounds like a fucking idiot when I hear them talk about this. Their brains are just totally melted. Like, this whole thing has been the most deranged, dishonest, scummy response I've seen in a minute. It flies totally in the face of, like, every principle about online drama that I thought most people stuck to, like about, you know, not blaming some community for some insane schizo, blaming the entire community for one insane schizo who you can't even prove whether it was from there or not. You know, and then latching that on to all the content creators that talk about it. It's the anti-Kiwi farmers talking points. It's just in the opposite direction. It's like, and then you just use that. You just use the CPS call to ignore every criticism. It's like, well, our life sucks. Our life sucks. Why did the CPS call happen? It happened because you went on your live stream, and he never brings this up, because you went on your live stream and said, oh yeah, my kid's got Giardia. The only way you can get that is if you eat my shit. That's why the CPS got called. Because you did that while you were fighting with 50 fucking communities at the same time. Fucking idiot. What gives someone the right to call CPS on anyone? True, I think when you see a kid getting raped, you should just not do anything, actually. Obviously, having reason to believe CPS should be called gives you the justification. Now, do I think that calling CPS on a random live streamer because of a story they told about their kids getting ill is justified? No. However, Ethan gave the information that you would need to justify a CPS call. Entirely his fault. Unforced error. Decided to get on stream and talk about his kids eating shit for some fucking reason. It's the equivalent of going... It's the equivalent of going on stream. Here's what it's like, right? It's like going on stream and making a joke like, I just bought a pipe bomb. I just made some pipe bombs. Oh, well, pipe bombs might be illegal on their own, actually. What's a legal version of that? I just bought a bunch of fertilizer. I think I'm gonna commit an act of political violence. X location. And then someone calls the feds on you. It's like, oh, why did someone do it? I was just using the fertilizer for gardening, obviously. I was using the fertilizer for gardening. That's what it's like. He gave the exact pretext needed to make the call. And then someone made the call. You're not saying anything, Toast Gaming. You're not responding to any points. Totally worthless engagement with the topic. Seriously, you're like a mouth breather, bro. You're actually like you're a total mouth breather. Who attacked his kids? Who called CPS? Who called CPS? None of these worthless fucking losers are going to join VC, Jimbley. You know that. Loser, tell me online, Redditor scumbags. Why Redditor? Why do you think it's Redditor? Why do you think it's anyone online? What evidence do you have for that? Thank you for £50. Thank you. Hugely appreciate it. Thank you. Hugely appreciate it. Thank you.
Stream.
Sorry, I'm focusing on this response. Huge thank you to is that L or I? I actually don't know. Is it I dot or I literally don't know. So there isn't any evidence. Because there's a whole ass community dedicated to this on Reddit. As far as I'm concerned, anyone who doesn't immediately shut it down would do the exact same thing. Okay. So you've got no evidence. So you've got no evidence to say it's a Redditor. You've got zero evidence. You've got the same amount of evidence that Keffals had to blame Kiwi Farms for her swatting. Yes. Yeah, you have the exact same amount of evidence. The identical amount of evidence. What piece of evidence do you have that Keffals didn't? Very easy question. Which piece of evidence do you have that Keffals did not? There were people talking about it on KF too. That was one of the key arguments used. So what piece of evidence do you have that Keffals didn't? And we will sit here and wait for responses. We will sit here and wait. Yeah, CPS call was made by an anonymous person. So we assume that was a Redditor. And then we associate that person with Denims. And now Ian has to disavow. We're like six links down the chain with zero evidence to even support the first link. The most pathetic, low IQ, dishonest engagement I see coming on this drama. It is crazy. So many people totally mind raped by this. No, the dude, you haven't seen the clip. You haven't seen the clip. Because Ethan never shows the full clip on his show. Who's got the full original Giardia clip? Who's got the full original clip of Ethan talking about his kids getting Giardia? He literally says in this clip, you would have to, like, eat my shit to get it, or something like that. You'd have to eat shit to get it. He literally says that. Giardia, or Giardia? Giardia. But yeah, Ethan only plays part of the clip. It's totally dishonest. He only plays part of the clip when he shows it. It's fucking insane. STV Philly, that link you sent me doesn't work. Oh, I think it's because you posted it twice. Okay, let's watch the clip. And then we're going to move on from Ethan stuff. I'm done with this now. I'm not watching the full response.
Well, it should be...
It's relatively common.
It should be... They should have found it already. But anyway, so she has Giardia, so we have her on an antibiotic, but we had to wait until Monday, which is today. We just got it today. And, well, Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has Giardia.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
and now Hila has Giardia.
Shut. For real?
And now I think this morning I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
It's relatively common.
It should be.
So there's one
should have
part
found
of the
it
clip.
already.
There's the next
But
part
anyway,
here.
so I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
I had diarrhea.
Oh my god.
What can I do to not get it from you?
I'm trying
to...
Because I'm not trying to get
Can
it.
we crank the AC maybe?
Is it?
It's extremely ridiculous to get. You have to ingest my poop. Are you planning?
You have to ingest my poop. It says it right there. It said right there. You have to ingest my poop. Yeah, why would... Very good question. Why would you say this on air? Why would you say this about your kids and their illnesses on air? Forget about any idea of the CPS stuff. Forget about any other. Imagine CPS doesn't exist, and there's no chance CPS gets called over something like this. What about if your kids' schoolmates ever see this shit? And they start bullying the fuck out of them, going, oh, you ate your dad's shit as a kid. It's just like, why are you even saying this? Well, it's worse than I'm an embarrassing F-star. It's my kids are, right? It's like... It's not even his. It's not even a choice, but his own thing. I'm putting this information about my kids on the internet for forever. But no, Ethan's poor, sweet, innocent Jew and did no wrong. Okay, guys, Jews can never do any wrong. That's why you should let me do whatever I want.